Now you got a real one, as Alex Caruso said last night about his ring on the finger. You get a real one here. It's no BS on the game. Billy and Sarian talking NBA Finals. Brewers red hot in the border battle that was eliminated this weekend, as well as our friend, the franchise Tim Allen, who Armin Sarian almost went and said hi to yesterday at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll have a Potawatomi Sportsbook parlay. He didn't either. We'll have a parlay of the day at the Potawatomi Sportsbook coming up after 11 as well. And a bunch to get to. So much conversation, so much fun, and can't wait for all of you to interact and join it at 877-794-1973.
Oh, get in there.
It was a hot weekend. It was a festive weekend. It was a Summer Fest-filled weekend for some.
For some, absolutely.
It was a air conditioning weekend filled for some. It was an adversity weekend filled weekend for some as well. Power went out.
As long as the power didn't go out.
AC went out.
Oh, no.
Taught the boys about some adversity this weekend.
Yeah.
However, we got through it. We dominated. We cooled off just in time to watch the Crew beat the brakes.
That was great.
For 7 innings off the Minnesota Twins. And then the Minnesota Twins give us some heart palpitations in the final stretch of innings there against a belabored Brewers bullpen that was going to get taxed in a game where you're up 9-3. Didn't anticipate seeing Trevor McGill have to go for a 4-out save there yesterday in a 9-8 game yesterday with the Minnesota Twins. But damn, what a weekend in the Twin Cities for the Crew here.
Absolutely. And Trevor the Terror eventually got it done. Like you get to that little spot of 20 minutes of terror. And I used to call that, first of all, K-Rod.
I was going to say it first was land rented by Francisco Rodriguez.
Then I started giving it to Devin a little bit. I might have to give it to McGill, but then I started thinking, like, that's just the reality of any closer.
Corey Knebel and Jeremy Jeffress earned it there for a little while as well.
I think any guy in that role is going to have, because of the expectation, because of the sheer volume of high leverage moments, you're going to have plenty of, scary moments. That's just the way it is. You can't expect perfection all the time. But the reality is he got us out of the fire once again. And that was scary, Billy, because I'm like, I don't want to end the weekend like this. We can't be like looking at a sweep, excited to have the sweep on this type of run. Now, totally, by the way, in the not we're looking wild card situation, in the division situation, in my opinion, we're right there, ready to pounce. I don't care how good the Cubs are playing. I think we're still in the conversation for sure, keeping us at arm's length, 3.5. Like, they know at least they're going to have a problem now with us. Like, you're not going to just run away with the Central. We're only 3 games behind the win column. So I think we're right there, Billy, in that sense. I just was like, please, let's not blow this one up.
Don't spit this up. Don't spit this up. Because the Brewers have, I think, made a little bit of a habit earlier in the season. I'm going to stress earlier in the season because we were talking about this a little bit last week, and we're going to do a lot more of it when Tim Allen joins us in the second hour of the program. But you see a team that for a while felt like they were just kind of keeping their head above water, right? Treading water. Does going 22-10 sound like treading water?
No, absolutely not.
Does having a guy in the middle of your order hitting 390 with an 1100 OPS over the last 28 games sound like treading water?
What?
Well, that's the Brewers, and that's Christian Yelich right now for what the Crew has been able to do over the last month or so. And I don't know. Mike Heller said, I got it on good authority. All right. I know some people. All right. Mike Heller knows some people.
He was out there
in spring training for a month.
I listen when he says that. I listen when he says that. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Yeah. He said the Brewers wanted to play that doubleheader on Thursday. Well, frankly, I don't give a rip if they wanted to play it on Thursday. What I actually like almost more, and maybe I'm going to be the only one on the island, and maybe in August I'll have egg on my face because they'll get beat, 3 out of 5 games, and it won't play out very well. Maybe a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of the Milwaukee Brewers and feeling a little bit slighted, a little bit disrespected ain't a bad thing for a young team that kind of runs hot in terms of the energy of the game always seems to impact the team. When the game is close, it feels like the team does have a heightened sense of exhilaration, right? Also, when the game has gone in the complete opposite direction, like the finale against the White Sox, where it looks like Rhys Hoskins is going to hit a grand slam in the first inning, gets robbed by Luis Robert, and all of a sudden you get blanked 8-0 by them and 10-0 the next day.
Yeah.
Feels like they've rode the roller coaster quite a bit throughout the season. Armin, I'm going to say this. I like the fact that they feel like they got slighted, maybe got cut short on their roller coaster ride, playing a little bit angry this weekend. You could see not only Murph on Thursday smacking hands in the dugout after.
Yes, that was the best when he got real fired up, started screaming at everybody who could listen to him in the handshake line. That stuff matters for a young
But
team.
they took out some aggression on the Minnesota Twins, who walked in limping, and I don't know, walked out of this series. I mean, like, they came in limping. I think they'd won 3 of their last 13 games going into Friday night. Well, make that 3 of your last 16.
Great. Keep it going, right? Like that's how you got to look at it.
And Brewers 316 says we just whooped y'all ass right there in Minnesota, and now you're getting ready for Paul Skeens and Jacob Mizorowski on Wednesday, back at home for 6 games. Looks like a good week coming up for the Crew right now.
As bleak as the early parts of May looked, that's how exciting June has been, I think, for this Brewers team. As the weather's heated up, so have they. And tell me if I'm wrong. This is the way I look at it, guys. You know, I think this is Pat Murphy's great talent as a manager, is to recognize, manipulate, and ride the emotional crest or valley of your team, and kind of understand their emotions, understand how they're taking things, and either get them fired up, motivate them, or not. It's hard to quantify those things. And in baseball, we love to slice and dice everything to a quantifiable number. We love, I obviously like analytics. We talk about that. But these are some things you can't measure. You can't quite measure. But Pat Murphy definitely has a talent in being able to recognize the emotions of his club, and it works with a young ball club, and being able to manipulate, mold that, and ride it, and get, like you said, I think it makes a huge difference. You get them fired up, feeling like there's a chip on their shoulder. There's absolutely no way he didn't bring that up to somebody, right? Just in that clubhouse. Just like he's probably brought up the fact that, hey, we didn't spend money this offseason, because he's
brought it up anytime somebody puts a microphone in front of him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you know that's part of it. This is what Pat Murphy does, right? He knows how to motivate, get these guys fired up. You've seen it. Dave being in the clubhouse. I'm sure you guys agree, but I think this is his great talent as a manager. As good as I think Craig Counsell is as a manager, and I think he's proven that over his career. It's much more analytic based. It's more decision based. It's more, not that.
It's not simply going by numbers and going. It does appear that there's a lot more, and I think Murph's talked about it, that there is what I see in the game and how I feel the game is going to go. We are going to push that button. However, I'm going to take all the information possible and not be a slave to the analytics, right? So where you're only going to make your decision based on what a number will say. But Armin, how you feel that player is looking that day, right? Or I think you saw it as well. Look at DL Hall. It was clear DL Hall just didn't have it. I mean, DL Hall was not throwing strikes. Murph couldn't have come out of that dugout quicker
and made the decision.
He was ready to roll, and he even said it about Priester as well. He goes, yeah, maybe we were a little bit quick on the hook, but just didn't look right. Just didn't look right. Wasn't the same deal. And Dave, you see this a lot of times where Murph has made it. I thought maybe Caleb Durbin was going to find himself a short exit there yesterday until he got bailed out by the wild pitch that ends up scoring him when it looked like he was going to get home on a nice fly ball to right field by Sal Frelick. Showed some pop there. But you've seen Murph have moments where the numbers would still say, I think we hang with him here. But he is going to go with feel, energy of the ball club, and also just a little bit of gut reaction into how the team has played. And over the last couple of weeks, I'd say almost the last month, the bottom of the order, those young players that he, I think, kind of questioned in a Caleb Durbin, Joey Ortiz and company, been massive parts. But you can't say that it's not because of what 2 and 3 have done right there. And Christian Yelich and Jackson Churio, they have been mashing over the last 3 weeks.
They have, and they've absolutely needed it to happen, because even with all the offensive talent that they have and all the struggles that they've had, you have some bright spots, but in order to get there, you really need Yelich and Contreras and Hoskins. You really need those guys to develop. And I mean, with Murphy too, he's seen thousands upon thousands of baseball games in his life. And I mean, he knows when something's like that guy, like it's just a little bit off. It's causing problems. You gotta be quick on the hook there. You have to know. And after seeing that many games, you are able to tell. You are able to pick up on those kinds of things that most of us who aren't paying, maybe as close of attention as Murphy is, we wouldn't be able to see it necessarily. The numbers may not be able to pick it up, but you can see it's like, okay, something's a little bit off here. You got to move them. You got to change something up, because it's not right, and it's going to end up costing you.
He also has a relationship with, and every coach should. Every coach says you do. I don't know that every coach generally does have a true relationship understanding of every player on the team. I don't know that you always can, right? At some point by the end of the year, you got things with everybody, right? Maybe you got a couple inside jokes with this guy, even if he's number 26 on the roster and he's been up and down 4 or 5 times, he might have a soft spot in your heart. Then there's certain guys that are around that maybe you interact with a number of times, but maybe you're not every single day going there. Murph, being the bench coach for a long time, I think leans in on the relationships with everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And to what Dave just said, you can only know when and how to push certain buttons, Armin. If you know the person, you take a vested interest into understanding what makes them tick.
And I think he knows he can do that. He can get on guys when they're not doing well. He can challenge them publicly or privately and say, you need to be better. You need to fight harder. You need to have more of an edge. There's no days off. And that's the mentality he takes in the game. And that mentality, I think, is definitely rubbed off on the players when he has a true edge to it. He has a true fighter's edge to it. And he wants to battle. And, he's a boxing guy. He wants to battle and fight every day. And I think it's very helpful also when you talk about Yelich and Chourio. I think it's very helpful for Chourio to have a guy like Yelich, who I think is basically built a cottage industry on overcoming adversity at this point, overcoming slumps. I mean, every time it looks like in the last 4 years, Yelich has faced a slump or faced a dip in his play, he's the quiet confidence and stateliness as a veteran who's been to the top of the league, won MVPs, looking the game, really looks the game straight in the eye and just keeps working and plowing away and getting it right and figuring it out. And every time it seems like Yelich is slipping, there's another injury, there's another rehab, he's in a slump, he seems to always come back stronger and find a way to overcome. It was early in the year. Should we drop him down? Yelich is struggling. Back at it again, hitting with power, seeing the ball, consistent at the plate, consistent driving and runs, and obviously, a consistent stalwart in that lineup. And then Jackson sees that as a young player who probably wants to get to that level and says, look at the way Christian approaches it. Not too high, not too low. He stares the game straight in the face and keeps getting after it. He just keeps working, and then overcomes that adversity. It's just, I can't count how many times the question of Yelich has maybe been there. Is he slipping? Is he struggling? Is he slumping? Will he be back? And then he seems to come out and have good performances for a stretch. And it's pretty impressive.
Well, there was an elongated stretch there, though, where it was like 18 months of him not playing good baseball.
To his standard, I would say, right? Good to his standard.
Look at his OPS was under 700 for a number
for
of
a while,
right?
Was,
So I mean, like
for a year, but yeah,
that's below league average, right? And then to go from that to your point, be able to rebound the next year where you're in contention to win a batting title, and then it gets cut short after 70 some odd games, and you have to have major back surgery. I think that was maybe a grace period that was not given. Probably should have been, and hand raised in there. I don't know that I helped it all that much because I'm looking around saying, this guy's hitting 198. This guy's hitting 194 when he bottomed out a couple of weeks ago. And now in the last 30 days for Christian Yelich, he's hitting 380 with a 609 slugging percentage and on base over 4.25. That's over 1,000 OPS with 5 bombs and 25 driven in. And he's also stolen 4 bases in that time and probably should have had another one because he has the longest hit of the year that doesn't result in a home run. And he broke an MLB record for having the most RBI in a game without hitting a home run in 8 on Saturday.
Which is impressive. I mean, there were certain years that he was doing it all. Obviously, his MVP year and the year right after when he took second. There were years like the COVID year when he was only providing power, right? And not much in the way of batting average or on base. There were the couple of years after he was getting a lot of walks, but he couldn't drive the ball. But he's been doing it all this year.
There was a time when Tim Allen, who's going to join us in a half hour, said that he should change his number to 43.
Well,
because he was a 4-3 ground ball every time.
And listen, we've heard about he hasn't hit many fly balls this year, but the ones that have been going out at a pretty good rate. He's at a good rate of home runs this year, maybe to hit 30. He hasn't done that since 19. But he's also giving you the walk rate. He's giving the batting average, and he's giving you a bunch of doubles this year as well. So it's pretty impressive what he's been doing. Hopefully he can keep that going because it changes the entire team. It changes the DNA of the entire team when he's going, and then obviously Jackson and so on.
877-794-1973. How do you like this comparison from Dustin on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line? Pat Murphy is the Dan Campbell of the MLB.
I kind of do like it. I don't know.
It does stuff for no reason besides machoism.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a perfect comparison, but there's something there. Definitely. The way he conducts his team, I think. I don't think he makes totally his reckless decision, but there are some that you question. Like,
He's always good for a good quote.
what's he
Always
doing?
good for a good
That's
sound
the
bite.
main thing,
Yeah.
right? That's
Maybe
the
if
main thing.
Murph starts talking about biting kneecaps
Yeah.
or
Well, he's
something
already
like that,
talking
we
about
get in there.
tasing his players.
I like
so,
that one.
Yeah.
Now, who was the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach that said he was in favor of execution?
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Well, definitely not Dungy. I'm trying to think of like
I thought
Sam
that was a
Weiss.
college
No.
coach.
I might have been a college coach.
Oh.
No, it was
Really?
back in back in the 80s when they went through like 3 years of not winning games.
Oh, is it the guy
Oh,
that?
It was Brian Kelly.
Well, Brian Kelly tried to say it in honor of
Okay.
this guy
Yeah.
and brutally botched the statement. brutally.
John McKay.
John McKay. That's
John
who it was.
McKay.
Yes, thank you.
He was in
Uh,
favor of it. Yeah.
I-
Well, you have to
what do
say
you
that
think-
right.
What do you think of the execution of your team? He said, I'm in favor of
in
it.
favor of it.
I'm in favor of it. Like those are good sound bites that you could absolutely hear some coming from Murph every once in a while.
That was never his best quote anyway.
No,
He also had one. They asked him about his team
Rich McKay.
ending the 26 game losing streak, and he said losing streak, 3 or 4 plane crashes were in the playoffs. Just not good. I'm not laughing.
You can't say that kind
I
of stuff
am.
anymore. 877-794-1973. Also, didn't do Little Big League. Didn't do some of the movies that we talked about last week, but did get the Sprout in for Sandlot this
Come on
weekend.
now.
There we go.
And that's great.
He was a big fan.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go.
He was a big
That's
fan.
not just a kids baseball movie. That's a baseball movie about being kids playing baseball. Like that's different than like Rookie of the Year. Where
100%.
That's
And it
a
was
great
about
movie.
the baseball field, which was maybe
Right.
our favorite part of the whole thing. Anytime baseball field went off, it was where's that baseball field?
that is so cool.
I don't
man.
see home plate. We're a little bit upset about this. Good deal. However, that movie made nowadays. I'm not positive.
No, when you're kissing
I'm
the
not positive.
when you're kissing the peppercorn and everything like that.
That exact moment came up, and I was like, I don't know if this would get past production
Well,
in 2025.
even Little Big League has a couple questionable lines on a rewatch. We'll talk about it during the break because I don't want to say any words.
I'm glad you're going to hold that for the break.
Yeah.
That is maturity of you.
Yeah,
That
no
is
doubt.
maturity of you. But also, Little Big League, was that where PCA's mom was?
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, CJ is hitting us up not only on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line. Can you get at us and interact? You can also interact with us on the YouTube comments as well. That's where CJ threw in there. You talk about the relationship goes to Kyle Tucker. Might be the best thing for one PCA down in Chicago. So they're trying to have a little bit of a back and forth. He also said 22 has to be behind Bryce Terang having himself a nice little resurgence as well. Bryce Terang 3-run shot. That was very, very nice to
Well,
have over the
Bryce
weekend.
Bryce is having a great year. If you believe in WAR, which I do, Bryce is just having a fantastic year. His WAR is almost up to 3 already, and a lot of that is what he does defensively. But
Also,
yeah,
somebody that's
offensively.
taken a lot of arrows, mostly deserved on this radio program. How about Joey Ortiz this weekend?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Dave, you were trying to throw in a Joey Ortiz base hit to the parlay of the day, which did hit on Friday.
Let's go.
There we go.
Billy, you're on fire, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we were trying to throw in a Joey Ortiz one too, but Dave, they're holding out on you over there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's gotten multiple hits in a few of the last 5 games. He's got a hit in what, each of the last 6 games or
He's
5
got
of the
a
last
6
6 games?
He's got a 6-game hitting streak, and he's got multi-hit games each of the last 4.
Yeah, we got Justin Arnett sweating downtown.
Yeah.
There's no
They're
doubt
all
about it.
singles though. Every
It's all
single
right.
one has been a single. We need to mix in a double or two here.
We're
Joey.
taking that. We're taking that right now.
That side of the table is the slugging percentage, please. All right. I can't have you being it too. All right. You can't be doing it too. Dave, you got to appreciate a
Okay.
base knock.
I do. I appreciate the base knock. They've been helpful. He's been getting RBIs. He's got 4 of them here over the last couple of games. It's been great.
And last week, when Tim Allen joined us on Monday, that one was from the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He was at the Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday.
Yes.
Also, Wednesday, people hitting the talking text line, they already got their tickets for Ms. Skeens on
oh,
Wednesday.
yes.
Go.
Oh, yes.
Why don't you come and pregame with us at the Potawatomi
Let's
Sportsbook? We will be
go.
doing this radio program live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Wednesday
Mhm.
before Brewers and Pirates.
Can't wait for that, Billy. It's going to be awesome.
Last week, I said to Tim Allen, feels like when the bottom of this order hits, they're going to win games. Now, that might have been the most simplistic statement of all
the
time.
most Magic
Yeah.
Johnson tweet of all time. Not.
Whoa, it was a Magic Johnson said on air.
Yeah.
Maybe if the bottom of your order hits, you can win games.
I think the key to this team winning is hitting up and down the lineup. Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
that they listen.
Yeah.
I'm glad that team listens to this radio show because this bottom of the order has been producing. Isaac Collins gets to go home to Minnesota this
That's a
weekend. Had
big
himself
one.
a big weekend as well.
He's been a big one, obviously a revelation for the Brewers this year, I would say. 761 OPS. But it's interesting. You talk about the left side of the infield, and those numbers are creeping up, Billy. Caleb Durbin up to 650 OPS. Ortiz still 542, but from where he was, it's an improvement. And you look up and down this lineup, guys, the OPSs of all these teams, there's no sub 700s anymore. There's besides those two guys I just mentioned. Everyone else is consistently raising their level of play. Contreras at 708, there's a lot more in there. Reese is still doing his thing. There isn't one or two guys you're relying on, except for obviously Christian's been hot, obviously, and Jackson's been hot. But as a unit, everyone's increasing their offensive play little by little. The pitching's still been there. And that's been a big factor on this winning streak. Brewers run differential up to the plus 40 area, which I like. That one. I love that number a lot, actually. So as the weather heats up, things are getting better and better here for the Brewers. All right, so let's stay healthy. Let's keep it going.
Let's stay healthy. Let's keep it going, and we'll talk some more Brewers coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to flip it over to the basketball conversation coming up on the other side as well after a Game 7 last night. But just a phenomenal weekend for the Crew, and you're going to need some times in which you get hot and that other team slides a little bit. We mentioned the Brewers after the rain out on Wednesday night, which was a rain out. All right. This was not a getting sunburnt on a rain out game like a few years ago with the Cubs. I feel like we might be trying to manufacture a little bit of anger with the Cubs. I'm not against it, though.
It's easy to do.
It's very easy to do. I'm fine that we manufacture a little bit of venom, a little bit of hate. And I also like the fact that lead shrunk from 5.5 to 3.5
That's what
because
I'm saying.
Seattle went in there and took 2 of 3.
Absolutely. And it's been a good weekend for the Brewers. And most importantly, the Cubs know now on June 23rd that the Brewers are going to have to be reckoned with throughout the year. This is not a situation where they're going to run away with it. For a while, having the best record, this and that, they're probably like, we're going to run away with this division.
We were told the Cubs were the best team in the league last week.
And listen, maybe they still will end up being that. I'm not sure, but they're going to be sweating it out now. Let's go. And not just because it's getting hot out there. Heat
was turned up last night on the Indiana Pacers after a very, very unfortunate situation to Tyrese Halliburton. We'll talk about coming up on the other side. I don't know they win that Indiana wins the game if Tyrese plays the entire game.
Good question. We'll never know.
I don't know if they cover if he plays the entire game. I do know that dude was cooking early.
He really was
3 of 4 in the first 6 minutes and goes down, opens the East wide open potentially in 25-26. Talk about Game 7 as the first time in nearly a decade the title was on the line for both sides last night in the association. We'll discuss it from Oklahoma City as they take the league by storm. And Tim Allen will join us coming up in about 25 minutes. It's No BS. Armin Sari and Billy Schmidt. Dave Gasper produces as always, and you join it at 877-794-1973. Stay wide on the game.
KB here. I'm sure you've heard us talking about and have tried Pep's Draft House Pizza by now, but are you legit? If you're craving the taste of your favorite childhood pizza, make it Pep's Legit. With a stone-baked, cracker-thin crust, zesty tomato sauce, whole milk mozzarella, toppings that take you back in a signature spice topping. Legit pizzas are the real deal. Pick up one at your local grocery store for the authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. Be legit and try one today.
Drew and KB here. Morgan Wallen brings his I'm the Problem tour to Camp Randall Stadium June 28th and 29th, and we want to send you there.
Just use the talkback mic at 97.3 The Game on your iHeart app. Tell us your name, town you're from, and your favorite Morgan Wallen song.
If we choose you, you're going to the show. Enter this contest now using the talkback feature on your iHeart Radio app.
Hey guys, Billy Schmidt, and with summer into full swing, the heat hitting hot and heavy. Was in the pool the other day and didn't feel nearly as bad about taking my shirt off to go swimming thanks to the weight I lost with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast and easily, naturally and safely, without taking drugs or injecting something into your stomach once a week. There's no prepackaged meal program that you buy through them, no bars or shakes, and no exercising even required. The Milwaukee Weight Loss program helps you reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Their coaches are there for ongoing support, and the best part, it all comes in a program that costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other weight loss programs. Check them out online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com and schedule your free consultation or give them a call at 262-433-4008. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. So start your weight loss journey today by scheduling a free consultation at 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. And when you sign up, make sure you tell them that you heard about it on the game and that Billy Schmidt sent you. Results may vary.
The year is already half over and you're way behind. Dealing with unqualified resumes, tedious paperwork, and employee complaints takes time away from what's really important. Fortunately, HR Value Partners can help. fractional HR services for less than the cost of an admin. Take the first step to get back on track. Schedule your free consultation today and sign up before the end of July to get your first month free. Check us out at hrvaluepartners.com/summer. That's hrvaluepartners.com/summer.
Shop 4th of July savings at the Home Depot right now and get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $600 off select appliances with free delivery, like Samsung. From all-in-one washer dryers to smart refrigerators, upgrade to tech you can trust with Samsung appliances. The Home Depot has what you need to simplify your routine. Don't miss 4th of July appliance savings at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid June 18th through July 9th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
If you or a loved one needs a personal injury attorney, ask around. Lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, insurance adjusters refer Warshevsky because we achieve maximum judgments and settlements. Their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak high. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Follow us on Instagram at 97.3 The Game.
Yo, Payne, you ready? Yeah. Man, let's lock it low. Yeah. Just play. Yeah. No, turn me up. Hey. I think we got one. Yeah. Here we go. Tell me, what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, whoa.
No BS on the game. We got a deal for you that is just can't miss. A big deal with a big deal from Iron Jock. They're a big deal. And now through July 13th, when you buy $100 or more on ironjock.com, receive an automatic 40% markdown of your entire order.
Whoa, 40?
Can't
That's
do
a great deal.
But hold on.
Uh-oh.
Can't do 100 right now?
Hold
Listen,
on.
some people are, maybe you're a teacher, pay cuts off during the summer. Maybe you are trying to buy a house.
Sure.
Realizing that you're going to have to go way over the asking price because these accelerator clauses are crazy nowadays. So you have to really, really shoot higher for that. Maybe you can't do 100 right now.
Right.
Buy $50 or more and you'll save 30%. That's legit by Iron Jock. First off, say $100, 40% off. That's a great deal.
Great deal.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
$60, you're getting all that stuff. But we understand you just can't do that all the time. Sometimes you just can't go that high. We're still going to give you 30% off when you buy $50 or more at ironjock.com automatically. No promo code. They said just mark that thing down right away at checkout.
How about
ironjock.com.
We're just giving you
That's
a deal.
legit. I like that as well because there's too many things that you have to remember the code to. Too many passwords that we have to remember nowadays.
All
too many
summer 40.
two-step verification logins.
Yeah.
Like just no promo code. Just go in there, put that in your card, and we'll knock that thing down right away for you at ironjock.com. That's legit. Nice work, Paul.
Enter promo code spring is here 2940. I'm like, I don't remember the promo code. Can't you just apply it? Or
Can it just work?
Or are you trying to make me forget it on purpose? I know these tricks. Not Iron Jock.
Look at you.
Not Iron Jock. Boy, that's a great deal, Billy.
It is a great deal. They know exactly what's up.
You buy $100, you're right down to $60. I did the quick math for you guys there. That's 40%
wow.
right there. I mean, that's a great deal. You're not going to get a deal like that on some of this great Iron Jock apparel. Look, I'm still on my polo streak, Billy. That's 5 days in a row on polo shirt.
Let's go.
Iron Jock polo. I got the shorts rolling right now. So,
which I do like the polo shirt, athletic shorts combo.
It works out like a golfing type deal, right?
Looks more like AAU basketball coach.
Yes.
I'm
coaching the
AAU
boys.
assistant basketball coach, probably, because head coach is gonna have himself full tracksuit.
Sure.
Even though it's 95 degrees in that gym, he's sweating like no other, like he's playing in the game.
Right.
Got to go full tracksuit. Got to be dedicated to the grind. I like that. You look like the assistant coach, probably keeps the book, or maybe has the clipboard.
With the clipboard, you're clapping the clipboard.
Yes. Got to hold on to the clipboard, be safe for it. A lot of guys with iPads now on NBA benches.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you can clap the iPad as well.
I was trying to watch last night during the finals, and I was watching the Oklahoma City bench. A lot of guys like that, although they were wearing like the white quarter zip, I want to say.
White quarter
which
zip.
was
Nice
funny
look.
because it actually is nice to identify those guys versus the crowd all wearing blue. Because first of all, they're selling so many seats on the bench now. The coaches have nowhere
No
to sit.
room.
The players are in blue warm-ups.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're
standing
putting all that premium seat
in the corner. It is just really funny how that works. And the Robinson is like, we love you guys. We love the coaches, players, but we're selling all your seats. And basically, you could be coaching the team if you want. You could be sitting there getting in the way of the coaches, getting in the way of the players. You could be right in those huddles. You basically no room.
You get close, it's hard not to think you're coaching the team.
And all the LBs are sitting behind the benches. I call those the laptop boys, the LBs.
I like that. Okay.
Those guys, all the analytics guys are sitting behind the quarter zips. They might be wearing shorts too. They don't care. They're running around.
The blonde coach, the lady for the Pacers, every single timeout, Rick Carlisle walks on over. She just reaches back to one of those LBs. Give me some stats.
He
hands it right to Carlisle. He's like,
latest
analytics. I don't
analytics.
need any of this.
None of this.
He was fired up last night, as pissed off as you could be, understandably so. Doesn't go the way that the Pacers were planning on Game 7 going last night. It sucks when it feels like you have to start the conversation about an injury. But when Tyrese Halliburton, which I don't know if you've been hearing the nickname that Tyrese Halliburton is getting.
Uh-oh. What do you got for me? I don't
know.
know.
Moment.
Did he give that to himself? Or
I don't believe he gave that to himself. I believe people were putting that on him. Always rise to the moment.
I guess that's okay.
So,
I get it.
It was only a moment that he was on the floor in Game 7 because appears John Halliburton did tell ESPN last night. They said that on the halftime broadcast that it was an Achilles injury. If you've watched anything, you have any followings of guys in a Johnny Sins lab coat on social media, it appeared to be an Achilles tear. You see every different giveaway that you would see. The worst one was
the replay
replay's brutal.
You could see it pop.
Tyrese's reaction to it, no reaction's good, right? When Dame sits down, Doc Rivers talked about it on the Simmons podcast where he said to Doc, I think I sprained my ankle. And Doc goes, let's get you to the back. Because Doc knew it's an Achilles.
Yeah.
When Rodgers sits down, looks around, he knows it's gone, right? Tyrese starts slapping the floor and saying no. That's about as heartbreaking of a moment. Just watching anybody compete that I've seen, like, dislike, hate, love. That sucks when you see somebody who's been having the kind of run he has in a 48-minute to change your life kind of situation.
Exactly. Right. That's what it is.
And he knocks down 3 threes in the first 6 minutes.
And no doubt.
That was hard to watch last night.
He was possibly on his way to a generational Game 7 that you said could have been a legacy setter for him. I think deep down he felt like he was feeling the shot that night, and that's probably what made it so heartbreaking. I know a lot of people expect me to come and dunk on him and all this stuff. I truly felt bad for Tyrese when I saw that. Part of the fun of cheering against players, cheering for players, cheering for teams against teams is seeing them do it on the court, fulfill their, failure or not failure, achievement on the court. And you never want to see that happen to a guy, get injured and not have a shot to play. That's brutal. It was terrible to see. I really felt bad for him. You're talking about Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Any basketball player, it's the epitome of your dreams to be able to walk on the court and play in a game like that, to start a game like that the way he did. And to be taken away from something.
He hits the third three from the logo, turns around and screams. And everybody that was invested at the Potawatomi Sportsbook with OKC laying 7 looks around and goes, oh, bleep.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough.
Oh, no doubt.
This is going to be rough. Because that whole arena, too, I know you didn't think the Paycom Center was as litty as some people thought it was.
I just thought it was kind of, maybe it came across TV as more chill. I didn't know, Billy, but.
Well, when you're on a 25-2 run, it can sometimes feel like.
Well, there in the third quarter.
In there.
In the third quarter, it did, yeah. For sure.
There was a nervous energy when he starts hitting shots like that. And then instantly, I don't know how you felt, Indiana responded to the injury better than OKC.
I think Oklahoma City had a hard time getting their energy back, trying to figure out their edge, and they didn't have it. And then they eventually found it in the third quarter. But, Stephen A. Smith talked about it at halftime. They got to figure this thing out.
Yeah, he was spot on. I know some people were like, why are you screaming?
Well, it's not the first time.
Well, it is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It's kind of loud behind me.
And it's not the first time he's been passionate. That didn't bother me as much.
We are in Loud Town, as they like to call it there in Oklahoma City.
I felt
Loud
bad.
Town.
I did feel bad for Tyrese. You never want to see that happen to a guy. You never want to see him have the chance to at least fulfill what we think should have happened or might not have happened. We like the chance to be able to cheer for or against it based on what guys did on the court and not on an injury like that. So
you were dreaming of an opportunity where OKC comes down the floor up 1. Tyrese Halliburton, the ball in his hand.
This is the shot, right?
He misses the game-winning shot.
That would have been cool for what my cheering interest would have been, But I'm not cheering for a guy to never get a chance at it or get hurt, or it's not as fun.
This guy always has a chance. Tim Allen talks baseball with you after each and every game. He talks with us on No BS right after this.
Preset. Save.
We're already a preset in your car, I assume.
Preset number 1. Never a doubt.
And we've brought it to the iHeartRadio app.
Simply click the button labeled Preset.
Our station gets anchored to the top of your app.
97.3 The Game. Added.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators. Plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
Who owns the summer? Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big 3. It's summer in the city. Big 3's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right. Ice Cube's Big 3, the best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played with your favorite Big 3 players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beast, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gerther, and the 2024 Big 3 champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big 3, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune into CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Old-fashioned service you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
With great deals coming this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye! Make way for the baron of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the lord of the loaves, prime member, Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Shop great deals this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. This hour of No BS is brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Drop it. He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, the Brewers right now, as hot as the weather.
Thing in these Brewers. A base hit to center. Frelick. He is going to deliver a run here in the fifth inning. Durbin scores. Sal Frelick with his second hit. He's 2 for 4. And the Brewers again pouring it on. It is 9-3 in the fifth.
Yeah, about that. They need all of those runs.
God.
That was a bit of a high wire act. The bullpen had its ups and downs, but in the end got the job done.
There was good performances on the mound. You know, Priester's stuff wasn't moving the way we're concerned. His stuff wasn't moving the way it has in the past, and that's what led to an early exit. It was quite a bit different than what had been. We don't know if it was the wind, game conditions, whatever it might have been, but so early exit. And then we got some good performances right away. And then when leverage guys come in and with a big margin, sometimes things are different.
In other words, Trevor McGill came in and did Trevor McGill things.
Yeah.
He's been fantastic this year.
Yeah, and then what's up, DL Hall? My man could not throw strikes. and then Merv's just like, he could not get him out of there fast enough. Yeah. So we talked about in the first hour, Dougie, there's a time when I think the identifying of the players that you know very, very well in the personalities, like, my man just does not have it today.
Nope. It's important to
He's
know
got
his guys.
He's got a quick hook when needed.
And I love the way he says it too. His guys just we were concerned. Quinn couldn't move the ball. Maybe it's the wind, but That's not the way.
When Josh Hader would have his high wire act, one of the things that I think a lot of Brewers fans wish is that Craig Counsell would have had a quicker hook, because you knew with Hader when he wasn't on, he was bad.
Now, let's be fair. A lot of fans always say this when guys have rough, imperfect starts to innings and still get a bunch of those saves.
But we saw it so many times.
I know. I just know every time he doesn't have it today, and the next thing you know, he gets a save. So I get sometimes you got to stick with the guy too.
I did appreciate it felt like the Bader first fastball that McGill threw him was like, here you go, little buddy. just try.
Yeah.
Try to hit the 99. And then he hits it, and you could almost see McGill's face like, oh, okay. All right. I deserve that. Okay. I guess I deserve that one.
I take a lot of L's, and I will admit all of the L's that I take. But one of the things that I feel like I got right was when the Brewers traded Devin Williams, I didn't think they were going to miss a step.
Wouldn't miss him. Yeah, no. And McGill's been fantastic. Also, it's good to keep him out of AT&T stores. Apparently that's where he passed out. Could you imagine being the poor kid at the AT&T store when that 6'7" cat just falls in front of you?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to go clean this up.
But I got to say, yesterday, was a team project. Eight pitchers being used. I mean, that's a team project.
And only DL Hall pulled the Bill Schmidt.
Which
didn't do anything.
I was waiting to see what you were going to say.
Just simply there for vibes.
Brewers beat the Twins 9-8 to complete the sweep. The Brewers had 17 hits. The Twins had 18 hits.
Wow. What a game.
Fun to watch.
You want action. That's the fun game, right?
If nothing else, add it all up. That's 35 hits between the two teams.
Probably exactly what we're going to see on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you expect some banger of a pitching performance.
All I will say is that if you're going to the game, expect to be out of there in about an hour and a half.
It might be very, very quick. Good one to take the youngster to on Wednesday.
And expect a lot of lines because it's going to be a hugely attended game.
It's going to be so much fun. Looking forward to Skeens versus Mizorowski is what we're talking about there. Milwaukee, 3.5 games back in first place. Chicago, St. Louis, 4.5 out. Cincinnati, 6.5 out. Pittsburgh, who are in town, as we kind of alluded to, 16 games out of first place, 31-48, because they have only one player, and he's pitching on Wednesday. Yep. To the NBA, where there's a new champion, but it was in part aided by the worst thing that can happen to a great athlete.
Nembhard kicks it out. Toppin. Good contest from Dort. Halliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Here comes SGA the other way. Inside, and Williams throws it down. Halliburton's hurt right away when he fell. Of course, that strained calf. He's in pain, so emotional.
Yeah, Oshkosh's Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers has a major Achilles injury, according to his dad. Unable to play most of the game after going down without contact in the first quarter. Reminded me a lot of Damian Lillard's injury.
A lot of Damian Lillard.
A lot of Jason Tatum.
A lot of Jason Tatum. A lot of Kevin Durant, which maybe if you're ESPN and you have, I don't know, the GM of the Warriors who was running the team when that happened to the Warriors. Oh, by the way, in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Maybe you ask him about it at halftime. Didn't have time for that. However, it really is one of those times where, Doug, you look and just, you knew it instantly, and I felt terrible for him. I said, like him, hate him, despise him, love him. You can't enjoy watching the Tapio play.
I totally agree, Billy. And I'm not letting anybody wear number 0 on my team if I'm running a team next year.
That's fair.
If I'm running the clubhouse,
retiring the number.
We don't have zeros available. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you want
double zero,
well, maybe 00, which I think is an underrated number.
Sorry, single zero here.
Yeah,
we are a single zero roulette house.
Right. It's just,
and we're axing that green off.
Logo. No, never mind. That's a totally different topic. Logo roulette. Yeah.
Okay.
Save your Vegas gripes for when Timmy Jones is in the
Good point.
The injury gave Oklahoma City, honestly, the opening that it needed.
What has been the best basketball team in the NBA, putting the cap on. Kessie, this is going to go down as a historic year for the OKC Thunder. Their 106th game, 68 regular season wins, and the more important 16 in the postseason.
Got the 16 when he needed it. That was on ESPN Radio, 103-91. The Thunder beat the Pacers. Oklahoma City's first ever NBA championship. How do you feel about that, Armin?
I'm happy for the people of Oklahoma City. I'm happy for all the entertainment this is going to provide them, and I'm happy for the Applebee's last night there that had a big business. I'm sure everyone partying at the bar there.
Is that what you say about Milwaukee, that has a smaller city population than Oklahoma City?
No, it only has a smaller population if you don't include Racine in the county metro area population. But I include everybody.
Are we including Port Washington too?
I love why you had a problem with fish days?
Well, no, I mean, if we're going to go 30 minutes south, I feel like we might as well go 30 minutes
it's
north.
a quick drive.
How about Sheboygan? Why don't you just keep going?
Well, it's a little different. Let's not get crazy here.
Are you adding in Waukesha, Brookfield, and all of them
that's
too?
Milwaukee.
Do we go as far as Oconomowoc?
That's Milwaukee land right there.
Not even Milwaukee County.
It's a 6-county type area. I'm talking about all the counties around. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to include that.
You're adding even an additional county because the Brewers only do 5 counties on the Friday.
Yeah, are they Bucks
We're
fans?
doing Dane
are
County
they Brewers
too?
fans?
Wow.
So what's the line?
Ridiculous.
Is the line the Waukesha
No,
Jefferson
County.
County line or
Yeah.
the Jefferson Dane County line?
It's not Dane County, and I'm not doing Jefferson County.
Make
but
sure
we're
we add
definitely-
Dodge in there.
Okay. You want
Yeah,
me to do the
Rock
county
County.
map? Okay, I'm going to include
Just pulling it up.
Racine. I'm not including like Waushara County or anything or Dodge.
Waushara,
about
don't sleep
Kenosha?
on Waushara
Yeah,
County.
geez, what
Home
did
of
they
the-
do?
Home of the Watoma Hornets.
Milwaukee, Ozaki, Washington, Waukesha,
Aberdare up
Racine.
there.
I think that's reasonable.
That's the plural of Labradoris, right? Aberdare.
Aberdare.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So they're up in
Yep.
Watoma.
Yep, I
Shout
think
out
that's right.
Watoma.
Hey, Watoma's where Butchie was at earlier
Yeah.
on today while he's hitting them straight. That was fantastic. Dougie, do you anticipate Oklahoma City's parade to be fantastic? Because Armin was wondering.
Great.
He said that they had to add in some additional spots because otherwise it would have been like 10 minutes.
That's going to be the most exciting 15 minutes in this, for those people,
You were going to say it, weren't you?
The nice thing
in
is
the history of Oklahoma
No, I
City.
didn't
It'll be the
want-
best thing that ever happened.
They
to them.
did have a parade before '96. They had a minor league hockey team win a Central States title.
You know,
or something.
Norman's not that far from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but tell people in Norman that they're, Oklahoma City. Same with Tulsa. I don't think they, Tulsa's got their own type of culture. Oklahoma City has their own thing, and they're counting.
I don't know that
they're
that's.
counting-
I don't know that that's for sure. I think you're making that up.
Yeah, but no
An
one's going to
Oklahoma
dispute it.
Expert Armin
Let me ask you something. You tell me they have that many people in Oklahoma City. They're counting some cattle too. I think. No offense. I think they're counting cattle. We're counting people. All right.
Some would say that we're counting cows in Wisconsin.
Hey, congrats.
Correct.
That's what they say about us.
He's lofting all of the accusations that come right at Wisconsin and just you got like a big deflector plate.
Because
that they
when,
put-
when it comes to us, it's not fair and not accurate. But when it comes to them, I don't know, but I'm going
it needs to be more accurate. I love that.
It's not that I dislike them. I'm happy for the people of Oklahoma
Sure.
City. This is a proud moment.
Just hate all of them.
And this is their first major sports championship. And I'm excited for them to celebrate it. And I want to watch the parade. I love championship.
Well, you
parades.
as a seasoned veteran of championship parades, why don't you go and tell? We'll go tell them how it's done tomorrow.
405 is the text line, Oklahoma. My
Oh.
grandma went to the game last night, 89. I said, that's probably one of the best environments for an 89-year-old grandma, a Game 7 environment. Oklahoma City, right? Everyone's nice to each other and everything. I think it's a great people there and stuff like that.
He's going to
Real calm.
continue to just dig us deeper and deeper into the
Real
Oklahoma
calm and
City,
everything.
graveyard. So we're going to pause on that. We'll
Okay.
talk to you in an hour.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks,
Thank
Dougie.
you.
We
All
gotta
right,
get
now-
Timmy here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you shut off on this Oklahoma
sorry.
City hate.
I'm sorry.
Tim Allen, has there ever been a place that you've despised like Armin Sarian hates?
Yes.
Oklahoma City and the great people, Oklahomans. Oklahomans, yeah.
Oh, I'm way worse on Chicago.
Okay.
go.
Well, that one makes sense.
That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, this is just an outlandish stray. Actually, feels like you're hating on people that feel much more like yourself. This would be like, in my opinion. Hold on. Well, we got time for you to rip on Oklahoma City. This would feel, Timmy, almost like where you mentioned Brewers Cubs fans. That's a general disdain. This weekend, when it's the border battle with the Brewers and Twins, I don't know about you, but it felt like there were more Brewers fans than Twins fans in that environment, and everybody seemed to be having a good time, even though one team's ball club was, taking the other to the woodshed.
Yeah, no, it did. I had a couple of sources in the building up there.
But you had boots on the ground?
I did.
Let's go.
And,
That's what I'm talking about, Timmy.
and
My guy.
one of them we all love and know very, very well. And that's, he had to speak to me in code.
Oh, okay.
But
I like that.
Bernie Brewer was there.
Whoa.
And I
Okay.
got
That's what I'm talking about.
I got the they were thinking 50-50 Brewer fans. We always talk about that ratio
Yeah.
at American Family Field with Cub fans. And we try and figure out what percentage. They're saying 50-50 at Target.
That's awesome. And that makes sense that Bernie Brewer is communicating with Tim Allen, because if you have checked out the digital assets from Brewapalooza, you saw Bernie Brewer paying respects to Tim Allen.
Bernie
Bowing
Brewer.
down to this man. So I like the fact that Bernie are your boots on the ground, Timmy, and giving you the kind of heads up that we needed from Minnesota.
Reverence. He has reverence for Timmy. And
As you all should.
he should, Timmy. I totally Totally agree.
Jeff in Menominee Falls said, I was there. The Brew Brigade was fantastic at Target Field, loud and proud. And Timmy, they had a lot to be proud of and a lot to cheer for. When you put up a 17 spot, it looks like a football score on Friday night. And then all your runs come early on Saturday. You needed all 9 of them on Sunday. We've been wondering where this offense was, and all it needed was a quick rain delay in Chicago or a rain out to seemingly light a little bit of a fire under this offense. It seems
But
like.
Billy, it's been a little bit more than that. I mean, when you look at
that is fair,
team offensive stats in the last 30 days,
right?
The Brewers are up there in just about every major category. I mean, we're looking at batting average, on base percentage, and slug, all toward the top of the league.
Yeah,
and we wondered, Armin, where this offense was, and I continued to kind of say, guys, it's there. The lion's share of improvement from this offense had to come from this team, not one single trade. Everyone was, which I think they still should do. I still think they should go out and get a bat. That doesn't mean that these guys can't get it done. The longer this goes on, look out, because again, if you take inventory, gentlemen, it's a playoff caliber starting rotation. It's a playoff caliber bullpen, and it's a playoff caliber defense. What do you have left? This offense, if it continues this, they're going to the playoffs again. In what capacity? I'm hoping winning the division.
Sure, I know you are hoping they win the division, because right now, I don't know if you checked yesterday while you guys were doing the show live at Potawatomi Sportsbook, plus 700 now.
Plus 700 got
to win
them
the
at
NL
plus
Central.
1,500. It was May 31st when I made that wager.
Which also, Tim, and Armin, get to you in 1 second, because I know you're chomping at the bit to ask me real quickly. But Tim Allen was holding out on us yesterday. Did you know this? Did you know this? That when I'm listening to the post-game show presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook at the Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday, Tim Allen drops this little nugget that, oh, by the way, department, when this radio program is on the road, the Brewers are almost unbeaten. The only time they've lost while that show has been on location was Game 3 of the Wild Card Series last year.
We're 7-1.
So really nice of you to let all of the nice folks listening to you on these airwaves know that there was free money at the Potawatomi Sportsbook plus money on the Brewers to win yesterday with you guys on location.
Right.
We're going to get you another date to be at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Thank
It's
God.
coming up in a few weeks. So I'll give you some lead time.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I would have liked to know that, Armin, before I went down there and placed all my investments yesterday.
Excited for that, Billy. And I hand raised in the air. I have not been keeping track of our record when we're there. The Brewers record when you.
Well,
and
we're
I
about
are
to get a
there.
big win on
We're about to
Wednesday
get a
when we're
big win.
pre-gaming folks Mizorowski and Skeens at the Potawatomi.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Absolutely. And to what you were saying a little bit earlier here, Timmy, it is interesting because we were talking about the offense and the steady improvement they've had this month. And there is a notion, and I think we get into this as sports fans and talk about this a little bit, that we know the baseball season is a 6-month journey across the desert. It's peaks, it's valleys, it's trends. And what sometimes we think we see in April and May isn't always destined to continue. And I think some fans get caught up in that. This offense was definitely struggling at points. And it was this idea that they're just going to be this type of team. They're going to be a bad offensive team. They don't have it.
They were awful.
And they were. And you brought up the point many times. This might not necessarily be the team that we have all year. And if it is or isn't, it's not because we get these new players, right? It's going to take guys doing what they've been doing in the past, hitting better. You know, there was some sense that there could be an improvement. And I think there has been across the board, top to bottom. A lot of obviously Yelich and Churio have heated up. But we've talked about, some of the other guys. Durbin's been better. Ortiz has been better. And that's what's exciting about baseball and exciting about this Brewers team now is you never know when fortunes kind of will change. And unexpectedly, maybe, or for no clear reason, a team that had been struggling offensively all of a sudden is going to get on a run.
8 games over 500 now. I mean, 8 games over 500. That win total there at 43 at this very minute is hanging out with the big boys, guys.
Absolutely.
Look at San Diego's win total. Look at the Mets win total. Look at Chicago's win total. Look at the Giants win total. Look at the Phillies win total. They're in that neighborhood now. It's a horse apiece. It's all the way around. I mean, it's not just this wild card, and that I refuted right away. Well, they're not going to be able to get in on the wild card because they're going to have to win their division. Well, other teams have regress years.
Yeah, peaks
Oh,
and
yeah.
valleys too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And now you look at what the New York Mets have done so far, and everyone was saying, well, they're just going to be a freight train to run away with the East, and now they're looking into a wild card spot. Because what if they lost to be like 9 of 10 or 8 of their last 9?
Yeah, they're 2 out of 8. They're 2 and 8 in their last 10.
It quickly turns on you, and I heard you talking about it yesterday, and I thought it was a tremendous point because he takes a lot of slack, understandably so. And I think, admittedly, a bit from you as well when talking about number 22, Christian Yelich. Last year, or a couple of years ago, I remember that you ceremoniously thought about changing his number to 43 from 22 for a 4-3 ground ball, which it felt like he generally was. Earlier this year, a little bit of it. I don't know if, and maybe it's just some revisionist history. Did we give him enough time to come back from a major back surgery to find his way while getting big league at bats?
If they would have told us it was a major thing, that you're on the fence here, it's dicey, his future is, we'll see. Is it going to, we never heard that.
Sure.
We heard back surgery. Okay.
You see, I hear back surgery and I only assume,
serious,
I just assume
right.
major, because I've never met anybody that used to have a bad back.
I never heard anything
Also,
saying
that's
scoping
right.
the back. Right.
Everybody has some sort of back issue. That's from what I understand. A doctor will tell you that something slips out of joint here and there when you're running around as an athlete. Sometimes it never phases you at all. That doesn't mean it's not there. It's still there. I'm no doctor, but again, how long do you give? It's the same theory though, and I'm not knocking this. It's the same theory as Woody. Now, conceptually, follow me here. There's guys that go through Tommy John that are back
in like 10 months, 11 months. Yeah.
Before a shoulder surgery. That must have been one whale of an injury.
Well, they said it was a very unique injury and recovery for Woody, as far as I know, right?
It was deep inside the shoulder.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but I don't think they're not all the
look
same.
at shoulders as well. I mean, you have we fully seen Aaron Ashby back at this point?
And
Jimmy Nelson, the only time he's returning for the Brewers is to hang out at the 25th annual ceremony of Miller Park and at the home run derby. Like, it's a difficult thing to just expect guys are rebounding at some point, just simply from the injury. But like the Yelich one, Timmy, like, he comes back off of a major back surgery that's clearly been hindering him for the last 4 or 5 years. He spends IL time every single year with back problems. It hopefully gets corrected this past offseason and gets a little bit of a runway. But I liked you running through it yesterday. I think his batting average bottomed out at 191 in the 180 variety.
184 on May 22.
And now, as we sit here on June 23rd, he's hitting almost 400 over the last month with a nearly 1,100 OPS. He's been one of the best players in ball for a month.
And that'll bring his average to 259, from 184 to 259.
And you just wonder how far it can go, Tim. Now that you feel that he would feel confident, feel safe, and feel fully healed with all the back issues behind him.
Is he fully healed?
That this could be the summer of Christian Yelich.
Can we assume he's fully healed?
Well, he's sure playing like it. If he's not, that's exciting. Because the healthier he gets, the better he can get. I mean, he's already hit 14 homers this year. And that's usually been the issue with the back, is the power stroke.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if it isn't fully healed, they're in great shape for the rest of the season.
Okay, all right. Now, this feels like me talking about Oklahoma City with Armin. Can we say something good about Christian Yelich here?
Please, thank you. I don't want to, I mean, I feel he's.
Are we still downplaying what Yelich has been doing over here in the last month?
We're holding him to a tough standard as a fan base. We've always done this. We've litigated him more than anybody else after he signed the deal, and a lot of it's because of the money, and a lot of it's because we saw what he could do at the best part of his career.
And a lot of it's because they have him packed in the 3 or 4 hole every night.
I agree, and we depend on him. Billy, you talk about guys that you buy the jersey for, the star power, right? That's the guy everyone knows. There's something there for that, but I have to agree. I think we have to give a little more credit here.
We do. We should. Starting now, he's Mr. Christian and not Sister Christian.
Well, that's nice of you to be able to do.
Okay,
now, last week, I gave one of the most Magic Johnson statements of all time when I said, it almost feels like when the bottom of this order hits Tim, they win games. And you very, very professionally and very nicely said, I mean, yeah. kind of like every baseball team would. Then Joey Ortiz pulls up with a 6-game hitting streak and multi-hits in his last 4 games. Isaac Collins returns to Minnesota, has a big weekend as well. Can't forget about what Caleb Durbin has done. Bottom of the order, they've now won 22 of their last 32 games. It's crazy. Not only because of what the front part of the order has done, but especially this weekend, that bottom part of the order was one of the biggest assets to this offense.
And timing is when you're rolling hot a little bit, timing is everything. So for example, the pitching staff, the starting staff and the bullpen, they were picking up the offense, right? To get a bunch of wins. All right. An example would be yesterday. Now the offense picked up a bad pitching day. Mm-hmm. They gave up 8 runs. That's rare. That's really, really rare for this team, but it does happen. And look at the offense now. You put one on their side of the ledger. The offense won that game yesterday, despite having to nail bite it. But they put up 9 runs. You're going to win 9 of every 9.5 games.
Yeah.
Every time you put up 9. So that timing is good. So when things are right, they're right. Now we have to look at. I go game by game, but I know a lot of fans like to say, look at this, Pittsburgh and Colorado. This roll is going to continue. Let's talk about just tonight. Let's just keep it rolling that way. Just win tonight.
That's a good way of going.
Great point, because that's been a problem for the Brewers in the past, right? Is playing well against certain opponents and not other ones. So I think, to assume one thing is going to happen.
Although it does look tasty, 3 games against the Rockies.
Oh, it looks like a dessert play. It looks like a dessert tray. There's no doubt.
Hey, they've been playing salty. These 2 teams have been playing some salty ball as of late.
I love that term. That's when you're playing salty, which means you're still not good. But
hey, man, Rockies are 5-5 in their last 10,
which is huge.
There was a time and place where they would have taken 5 wins for a month.
Absolutely.
You tell me 5 in a week and a half.
Fight you tonight. I mean, they are. You saw a 2-2 4-gamer a few weeks ago. So
they're 2-2 in their last 4 games.
All right, okay. I got to throw this stat at you because I loved it. I saw it. Obviously, Joey Ortiz has been a lot better in June. All right, his batting average is 306. His OPS is 703, so he's picked it up a bit. His OPS in losses is 405. His OPS in wins is 642. Now, of course, most guys are going to play better in wins because it means the team won and played better. But I think that's interesting stat that as he goes, the Brewers went that much as well.
And Durbin too. Mm-hmm. I mean, throw out the record of when Durbin's in there. I don't know. It's like an amazing mark, a win-loss mark. Is it all because of Durbin? Well, no.
I think it's Collins.
Is it? Oh, it is Collins.
Is up there,
yeah. There's another one, but I mean, guys, they need to hit better on the left side of the diamond.
Yeah,
that didn't go away. That just didn't go away. Mm-hmm. They're not all of a sudden going to take this off the sheet. I would just refrain from thinking that it's Durbin and Ortiz the rest of the season. I find that hard to believe. I just do. And I would look for a left side.
There's a certain player that's going to be playing third base for the team on the other side of the diamond this weekend that I think Brewers fans have had their eyes on for quite some time. And now Ryan McMahon has figured out how to hit again, at least power-wise. Now, I know he's hitting like 220 throughout the year, but he's picked it up as of late. The last week and a half, he's had multiple multi-hit games, a couple of bombs over the last week. Timmy, that's a name that I think a lot of Brewers fans have attached for quite some time, a legit hitter there at the left side. And I'm with you. I still think that third base spot is one that they could add to. Yep. I'll be intrigued to see how much they feel pushed to go and motivated to make a move because of the little bit of a resurgence here that we've made.
It's the pitching that should almost, I don't know, you can't guarantee it, but should almost guarantee you that you improve the offense. The pitching, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Look at Henderson. You still got guys coming back that are really, really good.
Really good.
If somebody falters up here, they've got it covered. That bullpen, imagine this. You have Brian Hudson, Elvis Peguero, and Yoel Payamps. Those were 3 main dudes the last year or so.
Yeah,
and they're covered.
Yeah, don't have many performances like tomorrow, and you might be seeing a couple of those cats coming up here sooner rather than later.
Like Jared Koenig?
Well, he gave up the whole.
No, what I really didn't like was whatever was going on with DL Hall. I mean, and that's my guy. I've wanted him in the rotation. I still want to see if DL Hall can start. Clearly doesn't seem like he thinks he can, or the Brewers think he can. And yesterday he couldn't throw a strike. That was a major issue. Timmy, we got 2 quick ones here on the way out. First off, I got tickets a couple of weeks ago before 33 turned 32 made his debut in Jacob Mizorowski for Wednesday's game, which now is Mizorowski Skeens. You care to take a guess at what the secondary market looks like for that game? I don't know that we've had a situation where there's been this anticipated of a pitching matchup for the Brewers and so much youth. And I think the whole country is going to be watching this one coming up.
Let's go crazy. Let's go all in. Jaden Daniels rookie card just sold for about $500,000. Let's see. Skeens, we already know that.
Right.
That was 1.5 or whatever that was.
Yeah, and Livy
rookie
Dunn
card.
was trying to have somebody hang out with her in the suite.
That's
if they
right.
could get it.
And now Jacob Mizorowski. Anyone got a Miz baseball card? I want one.
That's a great
I don't have a
do
baseball
not.
card. Dan in West Bend, though, does say that if you look at the Potawatomi Sportsbook for Rookie of the Year tickets, now that might not be a card, but you could grab a ticket for one Jacob Mizorowski. Timmy, not getting much value as he went from 12-1 to plus 175 to win Rookie of the Year over the last week and a half.
Yeah, I mean, just the kid is amazing. It's truly amazing. They might have found a special one, guys. They may have.
I hope so, and I believe it too. There was an article that Jacob Mizorowski dominates and earns a Topps Now card. So I don't know what that means. I'm not in the card game anymore.
Digital thing?
I think it might be. I'm not in the card game anymore. I
Whoever
used to
made
be.
that idea, whoever came up with the digital baseball card collection come on.
Is an absolute genius.
Yeah, well, yeah, from a business
A
standpoint.
remarkable money-making genius.
The NFT type deal too.
Very, very similar.
Guys are
yeah.
paying money for ideas and images. Basically,
I gotta come up with one of those.
That's what it is.
I gotta find one. Timmy, I'm trying to find one of these Las Vegas A's donuts that they have here over at the groundbreaking. Did you see? And have you
Ceremonial
noticed?
groundbreaking this morning. It's coming up, I think, 8 a.m. Vegas time.
Just in the midst of the ceremony
just
right
now.
now.
Can they put a little thing up when they build this place finally for the Trop for Dean Martin? Just a little statue said the Trop used to be here.
Wayne Newton throws out the first pitch.
Yeah. No, I don't know what donut place. And was it Pink Box?
Pink
There's
Box,
a lot of
yep.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of great donut spots. When I was there at Mandalay Bay, I saw the image. It was just a pile of dirt. But I said, you know what? Maybe they are going to build this thing. And I was kind of like not thinking it was going to happen.
They got a sweet little house that says right here is where the future home plate will be for the Las Vegas A's. It's happening. So
I got to get over there, and I will be there. I can promise you, I will be there when the Brewers play in that stadium.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yes. And I just wanted to make sure because we're already gearing up for our come along trip in 9 years when Armin and I turn 50 and 40. We're calling it Geezer Palooza.
Palooza is going to be great.
Jeez.
I think you
What
should.
do these guys call me, man? Wow.
You don't want to know. But what we will say is we just got to put it on the books that there's going to be a come along trip with the post game when Tim Allen and Pipe Bomb and everybody else go to Las Vegas for when the Brewers take on the
You
A's.
need
for the
to be
first
there.
time.
I don't even
just
care.
have to be there.
I don't even care if you
feel
invite
compelled.
me. You got to be there. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even care if you invite me. I'm showing up. I'll be there.
It wouldn't matter if it's April,
Like Dario
September,
at your
whatever.
bachelor party.
Exactly. Just be there. It doesn't matter.
Showing up.
And,
Oh, that's
it's a
awesome.
public place, so anyone
can't stop me.
Yeah, exactly.
The public place was the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That's where Tim Allen and Jeff Orlowski were yesterday. Phenomenal atmosphere as always.
Great. It was
Looked
a
like
lot
a
of fun.
great time for you guys, which was the post game as well as the pregame for NBA Finals Game 7 last night.
It was, and it was starting to fill up. And boy, it's tough to get one of those bar stools there. You got to get there early at Potawatomi Sportsbook to get that video poker and the bartender and all the screens right in front of you. Get there early.
Did you get anybody to, scound you a seat, save you one?
No, I was doing some slots.
There we go.
And,
little Dragon Link, little Buffalo.
I did, yeah.
Smart guy.
And I did some video poker. And
Probably
did fine.
Probably had a lot more success than I did yesterday.
Didn't do as good as last week, but yeah.
Well, listen, you know what there is? Wednesday, when this radio program is at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
That's
and
what I hear.
Maybe Tim Allen stops by before Mizorowski scenes. We always appreciate it, brother. We'll be talking.
See you, boys.
We'll be talking to Tim Allen later on tonight after the game on the baseball post-game show presented by that Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest. And you can bet Timmy and Pipe Bomb and Hunter. Dave Gasper was on the show yesterday. He'll probably be helping out as well later on tonight down at the ballpark. Going to be a fun week at the American Family Field at the Ball Yard. Make sure if you go tonight, bring that sealed bottle of water.
Yes, absolutely.
Bring that sealed bottle of water because it's going to be hot in that place.
It's going to be hot. Bring the water you're allowed to, and you can fill it up in there as well. All right.
Yeah, and everyone's totally drinking out of those bubblers. That's Armin Sarian. Dave Gass produces. I'm Billy Schmidt. It's no BS on the game.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, credit. That's credit. Enter it now. Win cash at thegameandstuff.com. Thegameandstuff.com.
Drew and KB here. Morgan Wallen brings his I'm the Problem tour to Camp Randall Stadium June 28th and 29th, and we want to send you there.
Just use the talkback mic at 97.3 The Game on your iHeart app. Tell us your name, town you're from, and your favorite Morgan Wallen song.
If we choose you, you're going to the show. Enter this contest now using the talkback feature on your iHeart Radio app.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there
for a weekend full of superstar performances, never-before-seen collaborations, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find a sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
KB here. Summer is the greatest thing since sliced pizza, and you deserve both with Pep's Draft House and the Summer of Pizza. When hunger hits, Pep's Draft House pizzas are sure to hit the spot. So grab a cold brew and a Pep's Pizza at your local grocer and chill out. It's summer. Eat pizza with Pep's Draft House.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys, a partner men can count on. 414-977-3100. That's 414-977-3100. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home.
So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
Things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. 97.3 The Game. Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel. This is No BS with Billy and Saria
I've waited for this. I'm so excited.
on The Game.
No love in Oklahoma if you're an Indiana Pacers fan after last night. Pacers get beat in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and the Thunder, as Mike Breen perfectly put a cap on it last night, the Thunder have taken the NBA world by storm, 103-91, and they finish off a historic season, top 5 in basketball history for most wins combined with a regular season and postseason. Now, granted, that is a little bit of a skewed stat because they used to only play 3 rounds in the postseason, and some of those rounds used to be 5 games instead of 7. However, the Thunder had to earn it, win 16 playoff games to be able to get there. They're one of the youngest teams ever to win the NBA championship, and Armin last night, 29-12 from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'll say this. While I'm watching the game, did not feel like Shai was having a tremendous night from just the standpoint of I've never seen my man fire up 12 threes.
A lot of volume shooting from 3-point range for him, which is not usual for him.
Felt like that second half, They could not run the clock out fast enough.
It did feel like
all their possessions were right at the top of the circle. Like, hey, Shai, how about you shoot a 3? None of us want to touch the ball because we're all nervous. You just finish this thing and make sure that the clock runs out.
It felt like they weren't that loose. Everybody was tight, and it was Shai just take over and try and shoot us to
get us home. Just get us home
and get us home. And that's the best way you can put it. That we got one headlight, gas is on empty. Definitely, the third quarter was great for them, but I didn't feel like they played their best game by far. I didn't think they were all that great. They were kind of keeping the Pacers in it, but they did enough to win. Pacers obviously didn't have Halliburton. We do see this a lot in Game 7s, Billy, I think a lot, where both teams aren't necessarily at their most best efficient because maybe both tight.
Rarely everyone plays their best in a Game 7.
A lot, very mechanical, not efficient. It's more of a grinder because of how much is on the line. And maybe there was a sense of that last night, but it definitely wasn't like their masterpiece, so to speak. But no one's going to remember that. They're going to remember them winning the world championship. That's what matters in the end. And, a lot of the great teams in history, you don't remember their final game. You just remember that they won it. So.
Yeah, you just remember that they won it. You don't necessarily remember how it happened. You just remember that they did. And the Thunder right now feel like they're in prime position, and everyone's going to do this because this is what we do after a team wins a title. How many are they going to win? Are they going to win like 2 or 3 in a row?
Great question.
Sometimes like 4 in the next 7 years or something like that. With the youth of their roster and the amount of picks that they have. I know Zabe is infatuated with Nikola Topic. He just keeps bringing it up like they get to bring him back. I think more than anything, they get Jalen Williams, who is a 24-year-old all-NBA player. They get him at 25 and 26 and 27 and 28. Like a lot of these guys in theory haven't even hit the prime of their career yet.
And maybe Chet Nate taking the next step. Had a good year, but I didn't think
Chet not playing in a year in which he had a fractured hip earlier in the year might help him out.
Great point.
Development wise.
Didn't think he had a great playoffs offensively and a great finals offensively. Didn't, but was really good on defense. Did what they needed to do.
5 blocks last night.
But he did his thing defensively, no doubt about it. So
yeah, he was sensational last night as well. 18-8 and the 5 blocks as well. And one individual who was listening to us earlier on here today and listening to Armin Sarian try to do anything and everything he can to dunk and disrespect the city of Oklahoma City. Like just a phenomenal spot. I think in the heartland of the country, you would think right in the middle of the Midwest, Armin would have a soft spot for Oklahoma City. Instead, general disdain, and Braxton in Waukesha was listening felt compelled to dial 877-794-1973 and tell us a little story about the passionate fan base of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Braxton, thanks for joining us here today. What do you got, man?
Hey, well, hi, boys. So actually, I grew up in Waukesha. We had season tickets to Bucks games, so we went all the time. But when I was an adult, I moved down to Oklahoma City for a while, and my grandma and my uncle get season tickets for the Thunder. And I went to one game, and I was instantly hooked on the Thunder. The atmosphere in that place is unbelievable. Like, nobody sits down for at least the first quarter.
Wow.
Nobody. I mean, it is popping in there. I fell in love with the Thunder. I mean, it was awesome. And then just living down there, I mean, the city is awesome because there's tons of stuff to do, tons of good food.
Oh,
I believe the food's good. I believe that barbecue and stuff. I believe, yeah.
Oh yeah, and you can drive 10 minutes and be in the middle of the country, but then turn around and drive 10 minutes the other way and be in the heart of a bustling city.
That's what I like to hear. Now, can you just dispel a couple of issues for us? Braxton, was your grandma at the game last night?
Yes, she was.
How old is your grandma?
She asked me. She's 89. She asked me if we were loud enough.
Loud Town was loud. I thought Loud Town was very loud. Armin Sarian thought no. He said it could have been louder from what I've heard.
I
So
want to just let me
tell your grandma to pick it up.
Congrats to her. I'm sure this was one of the most exciting things she saw in terms of, being a fan and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty awesome that she was there. I want to say this. I've long heard the Oklahoma City fans are great in the arena. They used to say it was like a college scene more. It was awesome. I never disrespected that part of it.
Holy cow. Holy backpedal.
I think sometimes the effects, Mike, on the broadcast doesn't come through right for the level of intensity the crowd has. So I believe that.
Oh, not even close.
And I want to say this. My point wasn't that the games were great. I just didn't know what else there was to do. So, of course, the games were going to be great. But like you said, 10 minutes, you're in the middle of nowhere.
Casinos. A lot of Indian land. There's a lot of casinos.
Okay. All right. Now you got it.
Okay. All right. Trip to Oklahoma City coming. Final one, Braxton. How much hate is there from Oklahoma City towards Tulsa, or are Tulsa people also Thunder fans? Because that's the other one that Armin's trying to spew here.
I got family in both. Everybody loves the Thunder because Oklahoma doesn't have another professional.
You are fake news right there, Armin. Right,
I'm
Braxton, thank you so much.
Everybody supports them. Yeah.
As they should.
All right. Have a good day, boys.
Braxton, you have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Braxton. Appreciate that
Thank you.
call. And congrats.
Fake news over there.
Fake news, apparently. And congrats to all Oklahoma City fans as they populate Harvey Avenue and Walker
Braxton's
Avenue.
grandma must have been on cloud 100.
I can only imagine how good that feels. When you're
in cloud 89.
I like that.
Probably better.
Just to be able to see that, see your team win a title and all that stuff. And man, that must have been
But one other part of this, and everybody says, oh, poor Seattle for the fact that they lost the Supersonics and the Mercury, I want to say. No, the Storm, Seattle Storm.
Storm, yes.
Anybody could have tried to buy the team from Howard Schultz. Is that not fair?
I think
Did he
you're
not
right.
put it up for sale?
I
So
think you're
anybody
right,
in
yeah.
Seattle could have bought the team.
You know this better than me, yeah.
Secondly, remember why Oklahoma City became thought of as a place that could support and hold and maintain and actually nurture a professional sports team? Because when the New Orleans Pelicans, then the New Orleans Hornets, were sitting out stranded because of Hurricane Katrina, had nowhere to play games for over 2 years.
Good point.
They sold that place out nightly.
They supported them.
So they showed this place likes ball.
Great
They
point.
want team. And at some point, they deserved one. And when you put that out in front of people that, hey, we're going to sell this place out, we'll help you out. Makes sense why a team went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I understand, it's so sad for Seattle. Last I checked, it's one of the 10 biggest cities in the country.
Oh, yeah.
I believe there's quite a bit of tech money in the West.
Yeah.
If somebody really wanted to keep that team there, they could have.
They could have done it, yeah.
But didn't want to. So I applaud, and I'm very, very happy for Oklahoma City last night winning it. Now I'm excited to see if it's 8 in 8 years or if the Oklahoma City Thunder are the first team to be able to win multiple championships in a row, because we have not had a repeat champion in quite some time in the association. That's Armin Sarian. I'm Billy Schmidt. Dave Gass produces. It's No BS. We got a parlay of the day coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Same with a Doug Russell update. We're back before then, right here on The Game.
Right now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, credit. That's credit. Enter it now. Win cash at thegameandstuff.com. Thegameandstuff.com. Listen live and download your favorite show podcasts at thegameandstuff.com.
Oh my God, you don't even know. That's so awesome.
Win cash at thegameandstuff.com.
Thank you very much.
Watch cool videos at thegameandstuff.com. Same great website. New name. New name. Thegameandstuff.com.
Our goal is to provide patients with the strongest, most effective, and safest options in this exciting field of regenerative medicine.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
The idea that you can avoid a joint replacement is very exciting.
And that's from a surgeon who's done thousands of joint replacements, but who now believes there's a better way.
Regenerative medicine, as we understand it today, gives lasting pain relief, improved function, without surgery, without drugs.
Under Dr. Scheinkup's leadership, QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients every day with the most advanced protocols in natural biologics. Literally tens of thousands of people all over America.
I've been doing research on regenerative medicine for 2 decades. This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Are you like millions of Americans who avoided filing their taxes this year because you're afraid you will owe the IRS thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, you don't need to be afraid anymore. Tax Relief Advocates has the solution. We can file your back tax years and may be able to reduce or even eliminate what you owe. With over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, we've helped over 100,000 Americans just like you permanently and painlessly resolve their IRS debt. A resolution specialist is waiting to speak to you now, who will let you know what tax debt reduction you may qualify for. Don't wait. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call our tax relief hotline now to see what you qualify for at 800-511-2503. 800-511-2503. Again, that's 800-511-2503. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Another hot day today with ample sunshine. We continue with our excessive heat warning and our heat advisories throughout the area. High near 96, breezy southwest wind getting a little gusty at times. Low 70s tonight, 80 tomorrow as we finally get a break. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Coming up Monday, the Mike Heller Show goes noon to 3 on the Game. We'll be at Blackhawk Country Club for the Balance and Believe Badger Challenge. We're going to have guests nonstop from beginning to end, including Matt LePay, always scheduled on a Monday. We'll talk sports too. It's the Mike Heller Show Monday from Blackhawk Country Club in Madison, noon to 3 on the Game.
All right, I got to watch out. First off, NicoletLaw.com talking text line, calling me on my BS, because it is no BS on the game. And that was BS of me, as 414 said. Billy, don't leave us hanging. How much are secondary tickets costing for Wednesday's game? I brought it up with Tim Allen and Armin. I did leave the audience hanging. So let me go to my favorite secondary ticket market website in the whole wide world. Maybe they throw your boy a bone.
Okay.
Take pick.
Nice. Let's go. His name is Bill Schmid, by the way.
Yes. The radio show is No BS, and you can contact Tim Scott at iHeartMedia.com if you'd be interested in potentially advertising on this radio program. Tonight, $9, most inexpensive ticket, get in the door price.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, $11. Get in the door price for Wednesday's game, $31. The cheapest ticket that you will get inside, let's say, the 200 level, right? Because I think we all like the 200 level. Loge level,
I always say, is the sweet spot.
Generally my favorite one.
Yeah.
Most inexpensive in the second level will be $65 in the bleachers.
Okay, bleachers, yeah.
Section 234, so right behind the foul pole into the left field corner. You want to go into the first level. Mizrowski Skeens. You want to see some, right?
Down the line, maybe? Yeah.
Most inexpensive ticket down the line would be $75.
Okay.
You just type in that premium ticket. Section 117, row 13, right behind home plate. $243.
Wow.
On a Wednesday afternoon.
On a Wednesday afternoon.
I love that.
Everybody wants to be at this game coming up this weekend. Everybody wants to be. Now, I will say, if you can go to Brewers.com, again, hook your boy up. I believe it's a kids and seniors day when it's a day game during the week. So anybody over 65 gets discounted seats. Anybody under the age of 14 gets discounted seats. Might be a good day for that. Just any way to be able to get to the ballpark on Wednesday is going to be a good one, because it is one to be able to witness.
Absolutely. And there isn't a lot of name recognition left, I think, in Major League Baseball for some guys. So the few that do have it,
and
Skeens, Mizrowski locally, obviously.
Yeah, and Wednesday is Lacrosse Day.
Oh, that's it right there.
There you go.
That changes the entire market.
We got to get John Papadopoulos on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's going to be a fun day at the ballpark. It might be a little opening day-ish. I'm not going to say it's amateur hour, but hey, that's pretty cool.
It's going to be fun, dude. I can't wait bringing the youngster with us. Did not anticipate there would be a bigger headline starter than Paul Skeens.
And there is.
Literally. His name's The Miz. Coming up on the other side, we got an update with our friend Doug Russell and a Potawatomi Sportsbook parlay of the day next on the game.
Drew and KB here. Morgan Wallen brings his I'm the Problem tour to Camp Randall Stadium June 28th and 29th, and we want to send you there.
Just use the talkback mic at 97.3 The Game on your iHeart app. Tell us your name, town you're from, and your favorite Morgan Wallen song.
If we choose you, you're going to the show. Enter this contest now using the talkback feature on your iHeart Radio app.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
KB here. If you've got nagging aches and pains, you got to try Happy Place Hemp CBD and Delta 8 gummies. Just go to happyplacehemp.com, use the promo code DrewKB at checkout, get 25% off your order. Start feeling better right away. That's happyplacehemp.com.
All right, team, listen up. Merle the Squirrel's here to tell you why Capital's duck cleaning is a game changer.
What did he say?
He said, if you haven't cleaned your ducks in 5 years, you're breathing in all kinds of junk. And unlike those companies who use glorified shop vacs, we use high-powered trucks to clean your ducks the right way.
Yeah, makes sense. Cleaner ducks, cleaner air, healthier home.
Exactly.
Schedule your duck cleaning today and save $200. That's right, save $200.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Could your vehicle's sound system use an upgrade? At Charisma Customs, we can help. Upgrade your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. From a simple stereo install, adding Apple CarPlay, or adding a subwoofer, Charisma Customs can transform your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. Don't like speeding tickets? We also install radar and laser defense systems. Enjoy your ride and stay protected. Call Charisma Customs today, 262-444-2525, or check us out at charismacustoms.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co. LLC. Used with permission.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This heat is unbearable.
Keep your family comfortable with First Choice Heating. For a limited time, get $89 off your AC and heating tune-up. Milwaukee's trusted HVAC company, firstchoiceheating.com.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
Exclusive coverage of your favorite teams. Exclusive videos from your favorite game personalities.
I am a follower.
Content you can't get anywhere else. 97.3 The Game on Instagram. For the latest Packers offseason news, inside information, and reaction, keep up with the only media outlet you can trust.
It's like being surrounded by all your friends you don't know who all love the same team.
The Packers flagship 97.3 The Game. There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Crab Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, here we go. The Brewers are heating up as we officially start summer.
And Terang skies one to right. Plenty deep. Way back. Goodbye. 3-run home run for Bryce Terang. A lightning bolt from Terang. Home run number 5. A 3-run jack, and it's 8-3 Milwaukee.
BA on the call on FanDuel Sports Network. They would need all of those runs because the Twins never gave up. They plated 5 runs in the 6th through 8th innings, pulling to within 1 run, necessitating the use of closer Trevor McGill in the 8th for a rare 4-out save. That's something that he hasn't done since last September.
Is that what it was last September? I know it hadn't happened this year, and but the kid's been pretty consistent. He knows who he is. And again, I'm sorry for doing this every single meeting with you guys.
No,
but
you're not. You love
William
doing this.
Contreras was great back there.
Every time.
Every
time,
Never fails.
Merv. The Brewers beat the Twins 9-8. They complete the weekend sweep in Minneapolis. They've won 4 in a row. And now they bring in the last place Pirates with 3 starting tonight at American Family Field.
Feels good winning games. Felt great to get the sweep yesterday. It doesn't feel great, though, when that should be like a coast home win and you have to sweat it out. Like, you don't want to be in that situation, obviously, because eventually you're going to lose a couple of those games.
Sure.
But it was a win overall.
Well, we've already lost them. All right, already lost those games. Remember Arizona when you're down up 4-0 going into the 9th inning. You already lost that one. You didn't have to worry about it. Very worried yesterday, especially when and I get it because he was just tearing the cover off the ball. Intentionally walking the winning run, Doug.
Yeah.
That's a take.
It is.
It's a bold move. It's a bold move. It ended up playing out for him because Byron Buxton stood on first base as the game ended. But that's a bold move right there.
That's the Dan Campbell decision that you were talking about.
That is a little bit Dan Campbell-esque. I like that. We had somebody compare Pat Murphy to the Dan Campbell of Major League Baseball.
Ooh, I don't know if I go that far, but there are some similarities. One of the big similarities is that he gets the most out of his players and they'll run through a brick wall for him.
Well, and that's the part of it, the motivating factor. I don't necessarily, you can put a price on it. You can't always be able to quantify it. But John Kuhn would always loved and talked about it all the time. He always dapped up Murph last year at Nooner Day for the exact same reason. He goes, I like the way you talk to your players.
Likes his attitude.
Right? Like I like your attitude, and I like the way that you try to bring the best out of guys. And that's something that is, I think, a little unique.
I think the difference is Dan Campbell's an idiot.
Just wait this year. I think we're
gonna find out.
We're gonna find out about what genius Benny knows down in Chicago.
And I'll say this, and that's always a hot topic about Dan and Pat. Pat Murphy's done a great job in the seat so far. But there are some Brewer fans, and I see them on Twitter, that always question Pat Murphy's handling the bullpen or decisions that he makes.
Every manager gets questioned by their handling of the bullpen.
So he won't even be immune to people saying stuff like that. Like that maybe, this isn't the right move, or this isn't the right
We
decision.
had people earlier this year asking, like, hey, how long's the leash on Murphy?
It's pretty long.
Pretty long. It's pretty long. Only.
Yeah, the question is,
I don't think there is a leash. I think that he's just at the dog park, just running free as he should be.
Yeah, he's going on claps and snap commands.
But people were asking, would he get fired after winning Manager of the Year and all that stuff? I remember those questions.
We had him. That's what
Yeah,
Sports Talk
like,
Radio.
again,
Ricky's ready to take over, right? That type of thing.
I already used the word idiots once in this sportscast, so I don't want to use it again. But however, if it fits,
go off.
Anybody who thinks that Pat Murphy, never mind.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
That's objectively a horrible take.
That was about as much bandwidth as we gave it on the show.
Excellent.
But I'm trying to be nicer to everybody on the talking. I'm trying.
You take a look at the rest of the division. The Pirates, they won a game as they come into American Family
Good for
Field.
them.
8-3 over the Rangers. The Reds beat the Cardinals 4-1. Cubs lose to the Mariners 14-6. So there's that.
And everyone was safe from at PNC. That was a big thing. No ushers fighting anybody, which is a good deal.
That's a shame. Well, I mean, how many ushers do you really need at PNC?
Not many.
Wow.
Not many. But that one kid that was swinging on the cat for spitting on him, he is no longer going to be there.
Wild day.
I'm sure that they're going to miss him.
I would have felt safe if I saw him at the top of my section.
To basketball, there was only one injury, and it was a big one for Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, like Damian Lillard, like Jason Tatum. Halliburton, who was nursing a calf injury, suffered a high-profile major Achilles injury, went down without contact in the first quarter. Oklahoma City then went into championship mode.
What has been the best basketball team in the NBA, putting the cap on. Kessie, this is going to go down as a historic year for the OKC Thunder. Their 106th game, 68 regular season wins, and the more important 16 in the postseason.
There you go. ESPN Radio on the call, 103-91. Oklahoma City wins in 7.
PJ Carlissimo and Mark Kesher on the call. Tremendous broadcasting.
Yeah, they did great.
Also, PJ is one of my favorite conversations that we would get during the Final Four when Brian and I would go down, because he sits down as calm and as happy as any human being of all time. You hear that voice, you instantly know it's PJ Carlissimo.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Good point.
He sits down, flops, right? Puts the sunglasses down, sits down, and goes, Brian, good to see you again. And just they'll talk about when PJ Carlissimo was trying to recruit Brian.
Oh, wild. Okay.
Until I start talking, and then he immediately goes, oh, sorry.
It's
and then
okay,
just gets
Coach.
in, and it's 12 minutes of the best conversation you ever have. And he gives you the nicest handshake after, like, hey, man, great work, Brian. Good seeing you again, and walks away.
That's great.
Awesome interaction. Amazing broadcaster. And people only remember him as like an assistant coach.
No, people remember him for getting choked out by Spree, is what they remember.
Well, I was going to say, I can't believe Latrell wanted to choke him. That's what people remember about him, but he was a really good coach, college and pro, I'd say so.
Also, one other NBA note, Kevin Durant reportedly has been traded from Phoenix to Houston for Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Deal can't go through until July 6th, but it brings up a question that I was asking you guys off the air about an hour ago. When you look back on Kevin Durant's career, this will be the fifth organization, sixth team, but fifth organization that he's played for. Started famously in Seattle the last year for the Sonics, then moved to Oklahoma City. How will you remember him? What team will you remember? What was his most indelible mark? Was it the spectacular run at Golden State, which didn't last very long?
Yeah.
Was it where he made his name in the NBA? Now he's a great player coming out of Texas, obviously. But at Oklahoma City, who just won an NBA championship, but he had so many great years there.
They were
had some deep playoff runs.
Had some deep playoff runs, Doug, and I kind of forgot about it. And Armin and I were talking about it while we were doing some pre-show prep. We do that for this show.
Let's go.
They went to the conference finals 4 of 6 years.
Yeah, they did.
And they ultimately had Kevin Durant, who's, however you end up measuring it, a top 40 player of all time, if we're going to be very generous with it.
I think he's better than that.
He's right. I think he's better than that. I think there's certain people that will try to argue and line him up 30, right? He's in that pantheon of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
He's in a weird spot where he's not 1 or 2 of the best players in his era.
Right. But that team was stacked.
That team was stupidly stacked.
He
also then, he's in the weird spot where perennially unhappy.
Yeah.
Like at some
That's
point,
how you get traded
at
4
some
times.
point he's going to be unhappy.
It always at least seemed that way,
And
right?
The strangest one was, you mentioned like the trade. He also started a spot where I think leads in convolutedly to what the Bucks had to do this offseason, right? Where if your star, Kevin Durant at that point for Oklahoma City, is going to walk into free agency and at some particular way, in some way, he's in the Hamptons and you don't even get an opportunity to match.
You know you have to make a move.
You got to do something to get something for that asset. So I think there was this run of teams after he left for Golden State and kind of left OKC high and dry. We're like, we can't let this guy walk into free agency.
Sure.
You just watched LeBron do it in Miami a number of years before that, and then went to Cleveland and left Miami without any assets for it. So I think that part of it was unique, where instantly teams were like, if you're even a little bit unhappy, let us know so we can trade you.
Yeah.
And then you got Paul George walking in saying, I think I'm going to demand a trade 3 times. James Harden demand a trade 4 times. Kyrie Irving demand a trade 4 times.
And it got the culture comfortable with player movement more, the basketball culture.
Started a lot of it. I don't necessarily know that it's very fair towards him, but he's very perennially unhappy. I think my favorite time, and the one that I'll remember him on, is actually the one you didn't mention, where he was the best player in the world after an Achilles tear with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
But no human being has ever chose to want to live in Brooklyn. And that was Exhibit A because they peaked at going to the semifinals.
And Bucks fans will always remember him in Brooklyn for obvious reasons.
It felt like those were the 2 best players in the league when they were going at it in 01, that great series. It really felt that way. And I got to say, I think there was a little bit of the
21.
What did I say?
I think you said 01.
My Ben 21. Of course, 01 is AI and all those type of memories, PTSD. But there's probably some fans had scar tissue still, being upset at LeBron for the decision and leaving and not staying with the team. That was something different that we hadn't seen a lot of times from a star player, was publicly choosing not to stay with their franchise. And there was a lot of venom toward LeBron, as you know, for that. And I think people saw Kevin Durant as the next guy to do that. And a lot of people already that were not a fan of LeBron doing it said, you're the next guy that we're going to declare as being a failure because you didn't do it with your original team.
I think
went to get a bag super team and took the easy way out. And that stuck with him a lot. Even though he's been around and playing through injury and playing really well, that's going to stick with him a lot for some fans.
I think the thing with LeBron is a lot of people looked at the way he decided that he was going, or at least the way that he announced he was going to.
With the decision.
Announced.
An ESPN special at a Boys and Girls. What?
Even though they raised money for that.
I love the fact that LeBron James has done so many great things in the community. He sends kids to college. He never gets into trouble. He's one of the all-time greats. I mean, we're talking top 2, top 3 players
top 3
that has ever picked up a basketball. But that cockamamie
That's one you probably wish you had back.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
probably wish you
announce
had back.
live on ESPN. The build up and 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 the build up. And it's like, just if you're gonna go, just go.
Well, and the worst part was that
This is-
Jim Gray had to narrate it.
I
And
know.
every 5 minutes that you think that we're going to get into the decision, it was, all right, LeBron, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how Michael Jordan impacted your life after this timeout and we make the decision? All the kids are sitting here like, hey, do we get to go play?
Yeah,
I also don't like Jim Gray, though.
I don't like him either.
A lot of people don't. That's not you're the one. You're not the only
most,
one.
I think he's the most overrated sportscaster on the planet.
Well, he did make a little bit of a cottage industry out of the drama aspect of it and trying to gotcha guys. You remember the Pete Rose situation?
Yep.
Dennis Rodman famously threw off the earpiece when they were doing an interview because
Yeah.
he tried to do this ambush.
Well, he becomes friends with these guys. He becomes friends with Jordan. He becomes friends with LeBron. He becomes friends with Kobe.
Eric
And that's-
Dickerson, he did the Eric Dickerson when he got traded to Indianapolis.
And he's the guy who, quote unquote, earns their trust because he doesn't ask any hard questions except for the one about Pete Rose.
Well, then I say he ambushes him in that moment. So I don't know. It is what it is. Some people don't like it. It's a cottage industry. He kind of made a name for himself doing that. He made a career for himself doing that. But I totally get that. A lot of people don't like him, Billy. You're not the only one. But
I also hate his podcast with Brady.
oh gosh,
And the thing
that
is,
one
I
is
actually
terrible.
I actually like Brady.
don't
I'm
listen.
like the only human being.
you don't
that-
have to listen to it.
No, I don't. But I have to play the clips because at some point they make news, right?
Right.
And then it's, Jim Gray on the Let's Go podcast. So, Tom,
Oh, that's the
as
worst.
you're hanging out here, this question presented by Chevrolet as we get in through here. Tom, as you were driving through the second half of a season in a down rainstorm, and if you need Rain-X wiper blades, like the amount of different reads that we fit in there is nauseating.
Yeah.
But I've never been a Jim Gray fan. Have been a KD fan. Actually have a KD Texas jersey somewhere in
Nice
the
one,
basement.
yeah.
Somebody said I can't let Armin be. They hit on talking text line.
Hey, what was that about?
Schmid.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Schmid, you better not let Armin Sarian. Young Sarian is the way that it is addressed to
Oh,
you.
that's nice.
The wrong one. Okay.
You better not let
Age.
young Sarian be running around the Deer District in an OKC shirt or a Durant Rockets jersey.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, I was so
And on what
confused.
planet is that gonna happen?
I was so confused that somebody thought I was going to do that. Like, what did I say? Like, was I bandwagoning or something? I think that's not me at
I'd
all.
like for you to.
No, I'll say this.
That'd be very off
if you're
brand.
fine-
like if you lost a bet or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
100%.
I was more likely in my youth, even though I had my favorite teams, I was more likely in my youth to try and get hats and jerseys of all kinds of different teams because I thought it was fun to collect all those, So I had jerseys for every team. If I could earn my $40, save it up, buy it at Kohl's, the champion jersey.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
champion- That's all it cost back then. I was more likely in my youth. You might see pictures of me as a kid wearing different jerseys. I would never be wearing any other jersey anymore of any other team. No, I would never do that. I don't know where that came from.
Maybe we should next time, instead of you eating a bowl of ketchup on the air,
Sure. I have to
maybe
wear-
the bet is you go to, I don't know, outside of Gamebridge Fieldhouse wearing a Yesers shirt.
Oh, that would be a pretty good punishment. Like
As we could
like a
just see
fantasy
the
football.
skin burning on Armin Sarian as he puts that
Wait,
yellow t-shirt on.
Was there a dumber kind of slogan than "Yes, sirs"? The whole
No,
playoffs?
it was pretty dumb.
I
How about a
think-
Halliburton jersey?
They give me maybe I'll wear the Oshkosh. Was it North?
Or Oshkosh
Well, we'll get you a DH gate. We're not gonna make
Yeah,
you do the whole swingman version.
Iowa
Yeah, we'll
State.
DH gate you one.
Yeah, I'm not wearing that.
Oh no, it's gonna say Indiana across the front.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. So I'm not wearing that. We'll do something else. Now I wore a Brian Butch jersey, Badgers jersey for a punishment. I put it on,
For
put it
Butch,
on
he loves to hear that.
Yeah, even though I don't believe you fully did what the punish. I thought the punishment was you're supposed to wear the Brian Butch jersey to the game.
Okay, I said I had to wear red to a Marquette game. I did wear a red shirt to a Marquette game. I said all the way in the back corner when we played St. Thomas. I have photo
And an
proof.
iHeartRadio sweatshirt on that was red.
There's something. Now, it was a Brian Butch basketball camp jersey. Was Badger themed. There are some things I'm just not going to do. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you got boundaries.
I got boundaries, man. I got limits. Certain ones I'm not going to cross.
And that's a good thing,
Thank
especially when we talk about the Potawatomi Sportsbook, we're going to talk about it coming up in a few. You got to know your limits. You got to stay to those limits.
Indeed.
You got to lock into those. Dougie, while we were talking and spewing nonsense in here, did we miss anything in your update? We apologize.
Let's see. Alex Palau wins at Road America.
Hey, let's go, Alex.
And there was that lawsuit that the Badgers filed against Miami on Friday.
That's
something else,
going to be
dude.
fun to follow. That's going to be interesting.
Over under. Let's go 16 and a half months.
Oh, it could last a while. I mean, as they say, there will be lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lawyers.
I think this this judgment will come after Xavier Lucas is done in college.
Probably.
Could be.
Like, I mean, he's going to be a sophomore on the field, I believe, here coming up this year for Miami. Yeah, I mean, you're talking multiple years. The interesting thing is how impacted and how impactful this lawsuit could be across college sports.
Well, they're calling it a landmark case.
Big time.
Listen, if these, I wouldn't even call them, they're not kids. I mean, these are adults. And if you enter into a contract as an adult, you are legally bound by that contract as an adult. So this is the direction that college athletics has been going in for quite some time. Now that the House settlement is done, this is going to be enforced. If you agree to come to a university, whether it's Wisconsin, Miami, Virginia, Arizona State, or anywhere else, these are going to be contracts that are going to be enforced. It's not like we talk about Giannis. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to play next year? It's not like he can say, you know what? I think I'm going to go play for the Knicks. He doesn't have the ability to do that. Whereas in college athletics, it's been the Wild West for the last couple of years.
Right.
I'm all for players having say in where they go and having some power and certainly getting paid. But the flip side to that is in athletics, there are contracts and you can't have free agency all over the place.
You can't. I'm interested to see, Armin, how the NCAA, because listen, there are certain teams that are very, very cursed, right? Like think of the Cleveland Browns this past year, right? They were going to catch L's.
Their history.
The Cleveland Browns last year got more wins than the NCAA has in a courtroom over the last 9 years, right? Like, I mean, the NCAA gets pantsed in court the last 10 years.
As they should.
Because they've been on the wrong side of all of these. Like, they totally thought that judgment for amateurism was going to come back in their favor. I think it was 9-0.
Yeah.
Against them.
Yeah,
and
they're getting emaciated more and more.
I mean, we're going to have to figure this out. I don't know how this is going to go because I would have anticipated when you read all the information, Doug, to your point, Buddy signed a contract. Like that's an easy deal.
Yeah.
However, how much of that contract could be in full writing as to the loopholes that it appears Xavier Lucas and his representation may or may not have found?
Yeah.
And the NCAA wants to have a backbone. They want to be able to say, no, you can't just unenroll in school and re-enroll somewhere else.
Well,
then maybe we should have put it on the guidelines and put in the rules that you can't do that.
And that's the problem. When a lot of this happened, there was a type of Wild West, and there weren't parameters put in place to protect all parties involved. And I think that's the problem. And it's going to take the courts, obviously, to determine that language, those loopholes. It's going to be interpretation by judges. That's where we're heading with this thing. I do look forward to the day, one day, I do look forward to that moment that I can be a college sports fan without being a legal expert.
Oh, you might be in the dirt by that time.
I think so, Billy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to hope and pray that one day I'll still be alive where I can just be a college sports fan and know understand the landscape and the rules without being a lawyer.
That's
I'm
what
not
the
really
Geezer
sure.
Palooza celebration is
That
about.
might be.
And you have to separate then the school from the athletic endeavor as well, because you have to almost separate the University of Wisconsin from the Wisconsin Badgers or the University of Miami from the Miami Hurricanes.
It's a very complicated deal.
You can withdraw, and you've always been able to withdraw from school whenever you want.
Sure.
And then if someone else will accept you, enroll in another school whenever you want. But when it comes to these athletic endeavors, that is what they're really trying to decide right now, exactly what those parameters are going to look like.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I would not be very confident if I'm the NCAA. Like you don't rarely have these rulings come in their favor. Very rarely are they quick, right? So like there's an opportunity that this lingers for a while. And who knows? Maybe there are 2 new antitrust guidelines or deals that come down in judgments that happen while this is still in the courts. And we could have a totally different college landscape coming up in 2 years even.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that the way, again, if the NCAA is going to get a dub, and this
would feel like it could be.
This feels like it could be, because I think everybody is kind of the agreement of, well, yeah, I mean, the kid signed a contract. If the kid signs a contract, he's got to honor that contract, as opposed to players not having any say whatsoever in their own manifest destiny, if you will.
I'm interested to see, though, if this is the one where they go, okay, so we had a loss, and now all of these contracts will have this language in there. And then it'll only take a Cincinnati Bengals team to, Shamar Stewart the situation and say, we're going to take that thing out. Actually, we don't like that line. We're just going to take that out.
Line item veto.
We would never take out Doug Russell from this radio program. It's one of our favorite times each and every day when you join us at 10 and 11 for the news, and we keep you way too long. Appreciate it, Doug.
Always. Thanks, boys.
That is awesome. Doug Russell hanging out with us here on No BS. Interesting one that just popped up as well. This is from the land of television, entertainment, and sports, Armin. Quarterback season 2 coming back on Netflix.
How about that? That was somewhat popular. I think if you had the right guys, and it changed the way you looked at certain players, right?
Very interesting group of guys that they have here for quarterback season 2. Joe Burrow.
That'll be a fun one, I think.
As long as he's not throwing baseballs. Did we see Joe Burrow throwing the baseball yesterday?
That was terrible.
Dave, you must have been disappointed. I mean, that looked like straight up game staff Brewapalooza.
Although different deal, Dave. It's different throwing a football than it is a baseball.
Yeah,
as somebody that did indeed spike the ball and almost delete the radar gun machine because I throw the football way more.
Yeah, Billy, you were a quarterback once upon a time.
Yeah, the best practice of my life.
And some people
the
say
best one practice of my life.
Some people say he didn't care. He wasn't going to mess up his throwing mechanics for a Darren Ravel, whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
I'm Joe Burrow, dude.
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow, who can't throw baseball, will be in quarterback season 2.
All right.
Very interesting home life, right? I mean, he got essentially robbed, and people were wondering who was hanging out at his house.
I think people will be interested in that.
Was she getting paid to be there? All those things. Jared Goff.
Okay, that's like your Kirk Cousins kind of boring. No, wait a minute. He's got like a supermodel wife. Maybe.
No, supermodel wife, former number 1 overall pick.
Just because
team was in the NFC title game a year ago and the number 1 overall seed a year ago.
Yeah, just because he plays like Mr. Rogers doesn't mean his home life will.
Doesn't mean he always is. Yeah. And the aforementioned Kirk Cousins.
Again, because people liked him.
Kirk O'Chain's getting a second run.
Now, that's interesting.
On Netflix's quarterback series.
I think it's interesting because people were really invested in his family and home life and the way
super into it. Yeah,
he seemed like such a normal guy. Laura loved it. Laura's like just loved it.
That.
Yeah,
you do like that. Now I also like the fact that I believe Marcus Mariota was also on the Falcons when he was a part of it,
and then he quit like the Falcons that year, and that was kind of part of the documentary.
Was he the starter? Then was benched, and that's
left.
when he left.
Yeah. Basically.
So this will be the first time they have a backup on, and
life of a backup.
Or will it be? Or will we get to see the life of Kirk Cousins play out? Because this is from last year, right?
Yeah,
so he's the starter, then gets benched, right? Like go through all of those trials and tribulations. I would like to get him again for season 3 coming up this year, right? I mean, coming up, if you in a year from right now,
seeing what he could, what's going to
you get to watch the entire year of 2025 from Kirk Cousins' vantage point. Okay, I just got benched here. I'm going to show up to OTAs. They're going to pay me $25 million to not play. Then I'm maybe going to get traded, maybe not going to get traded. Like what he went through a year ago will be fascinating to watch.
Right. All while going home and reading books to his kids.
But damn, I would like to see this year. I'd really like to see what Kirk Cousins goes through this year on quarterback. That's going to be awesome.
Who knows what Michael Penix is going to be like? We don't really know yet, I think, as a quarterback. So that's the other thing that's an unknown.
I know you're salivating for some more Atlanta Falcons conversation. We're 11 Sundays away from NFL football.
Bring it to me if you got it.
Atlanta are very excited about Penix.
Very excited. Everybody's excited about a young quarterback. Everybody, until he doesn't become that guy.
But they got an explosive offense, good explosive young offense.
Fair enough. I agree.
Lefty quarterback that can deliver the ball in a bunch of different spots. Look out for that team.
They got a young tight end that might figure it out one time. 1 year, might finally figure it out.
Are you the one coming up with all those Kyle Pitts memes online?
It's not me.
Is that you?
You know it's not me. I don't want to say he's a bust, but he ain't that guy yet.
I think we might be able to call it a bust at this point.
He was a can't miss guy. Every time you say can't miss, I'm running away. Okay.
Maybe this can't miss. Plus 225 Atlanta Falcons to win the NFC South.
I like that. Because I don't think that's a shoe-in division for anybody, no doubt. So
the one I really like is plus 400. Carolina Panthers.
You've been on them. You and Trey.
Better believe it.
Of course, Trey has his own, biases involved there.
Well, and Trey had himself a very fun night last night. Now, we would have had ourselves a very fun night if our parlay of the day would have been on Game 7 of the NBA Finals and we would have won it. However, we won our parlay of the day on Friday. So during the break, we were going to get all those winning tickets, walk up to the window, get the cash, Throw it down on a parlay of the day here for Monday at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, where we bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest. And the Brewers and Pirates might just be the feeding ground for a parlay of the day coming up on the other side. Dave Gass produces. I'm Billy Schmid. That's Armin Sarian. We go to that Potawatomi Sportsbook coming up right after this. Mention that Kevin Durant trade.
Yeah.
And the Tyrese Halliburton injury. So KD stays west. Another suitor just gave a bunch of assets. Don't know that the Rockets are a Giannis destination anymore.
Interesting. Also, NBA futures are out for next year, Billy, for the championship.
Better believe it.
There's some interesting ones there I want to talk about.
And this East feels even more wide open than ever before. We're going to get into that on the other side. That's Armin Sarian. I'm Billy Schmid. It's no BS. Stay wide on the game.
I wouldn't sleep a minute away. Oh, there's blackjack and poker and the roulette wheel.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Green. That's green. Enter it now. Win cash at thegameandstuff.com. Thegameandstuff.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
Presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there.
For a weekend full of superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once in a lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
If your knees or hips are slowing you down, don't wait for it to get worse. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin offers same-day surgery with advanced technology and specialized joint care to get you moving again faster. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Old-fashioned service you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
From iHeart Podcast. Before social media, before cable news, there was Alan Berg.
He was the first and the original shock jock.
That scratchy, irreverent kind of way of talking to people and telling them that you're an idiot and I'm going to hang up on you.
This is Live Wire, the loud life and shocking murder of Alan Berg.
And he pointed to the Denver phone book and said, well, there are probably 2 million suspects.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Live Wire, and listen now.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
No BS might be on a Parlay of the Day heater. Now, heater might feel a little aggressive.
I don't know, Billy. You won how many now in the last 10
As the
10 days?
numbers have come back, we are plus since returning off paternity leave.
Huge.
Go.
That's now a 2-month stretch as the little guy turned 2 months old yesterday.
Gave you an little extra motivation, by the way. Congrats on the 2-month.
More than anything, it was this stuff better start working.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Another mouth to feed.
You had an extra.
Stop making donations.
Extra motivation, extra focus, extra edge to attack these parlays, Billy, and it's been working for you.
It absolutely has, and it
you should
definitely
tail Schmidt here.
It also helps when we had Tim Allen come in with a dynamite plus money addition to the Parlay of the Day on Friday of under 17.5 Joe Ryan outs. Now, Joe Ryan had been phenomenal going into the game. I think 7-2, sub-3 ERA. Dave, didn't he pants the Brewers like 6 1/3 innings here earlier in the year?
I believe so, yeah.
Where he was just dominant.
Yeah,
and
just lights out.
he had some stuff working. However, walk, I think 3 on Friday. A little bit of control issues. Brewers, luckily, were able to take advantage. And shout out to the walks taken by Jackson Churio over the weekend.
He's
That's huge.
That's a big, huge thing. We've
doesn't
talked
help
about
us in the total bases department.
Doesn't. No, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean we don't like it.
Helps us in the OBP department.
It helps in the OBP department. Also helps silence certain individuals that have had microphones for a long time that said that we should trade him because he doesn't take enough walks.
Yeah, I've heard that. I did hear that one, Billy. That was
3
big.
walks in a game. Holy cow.
I'm going to say this, too. I think it will help down the road. You know, if he's more selective at the plate, teams have less ways to get him out. Have to come in on him more, into his kitchen a little bit more, right, guys?
Yeah, it's
that's been an important part of his game that he's improved on. Huge.
Dave, I defer to you here. Would that be like the last part of his bag to get is like an understanding of how teams and how people are pitching to him, where you can actually like hunt the pitch that you know is coming, right? Where you're able to hunt your own mistake, know the mistake, know when it's coming. Because sometimes it does appear it's like, brother, they're not feeding you a 2-0 fastball.
Yeah, the swing decisions is kind of like the last thing.
word.
Not chasing the stuff outside of the zone,
Right.
making them throw you strikes and being able to swing inside the zone. And figuring out how those pitchers are going after.
Every once in a while, a little similar to me on MLB The Show 25, where I know that sweeper out of the zone's coming in. That thing's landing in the other batter's box.
Swinging
Dave,
anyway.
You think I'm not hitting X?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I'm early every time, right? So, there's a part of your progression where you do need to understand how teams are going to pitch to you. And unlocking a little bit of that for one Jackson
I think
Churio.
that's huge. I think it's really huge. The more he becomes selective at the plate, the more it helps his team, the more it helps himself. That's the next level. And to see him start to do it now, it's wow.
Yeah, but he had me a little bit nervous on Friday night with the over 1.5 total bases. Luckily, ball into right field, diving attempt not made, double for one Jackson Churio. Crossed that one off the board or off the list.
Yeah.
Plus 650 was hitting when the Minnesota native, Isaac Collins, needed just one base knock and find some green grass. And we cash a plus 650 parlay of the day on Friday.
That's huge, Billy. I love that. Love that you're hitting them. Let's get another one today. Boy, Isaac Collins, what a great story he's been, man. He's been
just
awesome.
finding his way into the lineup.
Yeah.
And good luck taking him out. Because if you're trying to take him out of the lineup right now, you don't like winning baseball games.
Right.
Because it seems like every single time he's been questioned, Dave, he's just produced.
The Brewers are 27-10 when Isaac Collins starts in the lineup.
He's been such
that was the stat we were looking for earlier on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been such an unexpected surprise for the Brewers. And like you guys said, helping them win games. Believe he's fifth. He's fifth on the team in WAR right now. Pretty impressive.
So what does that mean?
Means he's our fifth most important player in terms of wins.
There we go.
I
just want you to explain
WAR.
WAR.
Oh, yeah. WAR is how many
even
wins?
though you know everybody should be talking about WAR all the time.
Should be doing it all the time.
Very rarely discussed or explained or easy to understand.
No, I have no idea what the equations. I don't do the math. I just wait for
Hold
the
on.
number
So
to
you
come.
don't know what goes into it, how it gets entailed, but it's the most important metric?
Billy, I trust the experts in a lot of fields in life. All right. If a plumber comes over, I trust him to know plumbing and to do it, and I trust him implicitly. I don't know the pipes. But I trust him. If I take my car to a mechanic, I don't know carburetors, and I don't know, whatever's in there, but I trust them. I trust the mathematicians to do WAR and to know that and give me the number. All right. Show me the number.
I don't even know the equation for WAR either. I mean, it's way complex and complicated.
But the way that this young man talks about WAR.
Well, no. I don't have to know the math and the equation.
But the thing is, you're talking to fans, and what you just explained is you're the plumber. We're expecting you to know this stuff.
I'm just saying
I'm expecting this smart guy on the radio station that's telling me I'm talking about sports to know what this mathematician number is that he's talking about all the time.
Okay.
That's more important than strikeouts and batting average.
Well, hold on. I know the number and what it means and its importance to what it means and what it represents. I don't think I should have to know. I have to show my work and know the math. Don't you agree, Dave?
I don't know the math for it either.
Come on.
You know what it is. You know what the number is, the importance of it, and explaining that. But creating the number, I mean,
now, Dave, you're not a slave to the WAR number, are you?
But I think
I also do like the eye test, from time to time.
But
you got to see what's going on.
He's an intelligent guy, and he's looking at data like that, like BABIP and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right.
Big fan of looking at BABIP.
Guy telling me I got to be an actuary over here, a math major.
BABIP, that is average on balls in play.
You got
Batting average on balls in play, yeah.
Which Joey Ortiz has had a nice BABIP this month.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to chastise you. Listen, because I've been called Billy, aka Bully, on the radio show earlier today.
You're not a bully. Thank you, Sheila.
I was told on the talking text line to stop being naughty.
Sheila keeps up. Sheila capes up for me. I'm sorry. Sheila capes up for me. Like she's like my grandma or my aunt, which I appreciate. But no, I don't have a big math equation back here where I'm calculating wars. I let the smart guys do it. Show me the number.
I do like you just say, give me the answer. Give me the answer.
I'm going to the back of the book and looking at the answer. I'm not showing my work.
See, we're a lot more alike than we are different because we are doing the exact same damn thing.
Like
now,
that.
if there would be a back of the book,
yes,
where we could just go and talk to Justin Arnett and be like, hey, can you give us the winning parlay of the day for today?
What's tell me the future?
Trust me, we do it.
Yeah,
we would be doing it, and we would not have been losing as much as we were early on in the parlay of the day. Now, something called Braxton Ashcraft starting here today for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, young Braxton, 25 years old from Waco, Texas.
Not the one that called in today to the show.
Not the one that called in today. He might be a little bit of a, what do we call, opener situation here for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
He started a couple of games. However, multi-inning events, 2 innings, 1 inning.
Yeah.
Brewers kicked the crap out of an opener earlier on this weekend.
Minus 190, Billy. Right now on the money line, Brewers. Holy cow.
Or laying a run and a half for the Brewers is plus money right now. But what we're going to do is do what we've been doing best, and that's go right to the hits department.
Let's do it.
And just add in one simple and easy Isaac Collins base hit. Minus 140.
Minus 140. Let's do it.
Walk right on in to the total bases department. And that's where one Jackson Churio rebounds from the weekend that has been at plus 123 for over 1.5.
Love that
now,
number.
some would say Christian Yelich is hitting like 390 over the last month. How are you not throwing him in here? Well, the splits for Christian Yelich are fantastic in the month. Not all that good at home. And I don't know what you can make of these numbers when you look at what Yelich has done at American Family Field and away from American Family Field. My man in 122 at-bats at home is hitting a .189 and a 624 slug, or 624 OPS. On the road, hitting 315 and a 900 OPS.
Maybe that's just an anomaly. There's no explanation for it. I don't know, but man, that's a wild split. So I don't mind if you want to avoid that today.
It's too wild of a split for us to go right to the pitching props and find Chad Patrick strikeouts is kind of high. 5.5 is plus 107. Under 5.5 is minus 141. I actually like the total outs. Most importantly, because Tim Allen was doing total outs for us last week, and I thought it was a lot of fun.
It is a fun prop.
Over under 17.5 is basically even money. I kind of like under, but Armin, is that fading our own guy?
No,
Is
I
that
don't
not
think
a
it
good
is.
Deal?
It doesn't mean you're cheering against him. It just means you're predicting what Pat Murphy's instincts will be, and trying to, how many times is he like going guys 6? That's why I like the total outs prop, because you're trying to predict. I don't know what the right term is.
Well, you're trying to predict game script,
and you're a human decision.
Yeah.
Another decision will be.
And also, the last 2 times out for Patrick, he hasn't been very sharp.
Has not been very sharp.
So he's gone under. He's gone shorter. Just 5 innings each of his last 2 outings.
So if he does go 5 that are good, I don't know that we're going to push it. So that might be a good bet.
Oh, see, I like the reverse lock of that exact deal. Dave, how many pitchers did they use yesterday?
8.
8
Everyone but
pitchers
Ashby
yesterday.
in that bullpen.
That might be the one.
Everyone but Aaron Ashby yesterday.
That might be the one thing that
Pittsburgh
concerns.
Pirates come to town. Chad Patrick said, wait, this Jacob Mizorowski cat is now the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year?
Okay.
It was supposed to be my turn.
He's got an edge.
My
to him.
turn.
Okay.
It's supposed to be my turn. Chad Patrick, over 17.5 outs today.
He performs today.
Get 1 hit for Isaac Collins. Jackson Churio over 1.5 total bases. Over 17.5 outs from Chad Patrick. Ball club needs him to get some length today. No pause. We need some length out of you. All right, Chad Patrick, be able to go and grind through some of the ball game, get us a plus 600 parlay of the day at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, and bet above the rest. We're going to potentially bet on some NBA futures on the other side, because Armin Sarian is eyeing it up at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and he thinks the Milwaukee Bucks are getting disrespected a little bit. We'll explain it to you right here on the other side after this timeout. It's No BS on the Game.
Right now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Green. That's green. Enter it now. Win cash at thegameandstuff.com. Thegameandstuff.com.
Coming up Monday, the Mike Heller Show goes noon to 3 on the Game. We'll be at Blackhawk Country Club for the Balance and Believe Badger Challenge. We're going to have guests nonstop from beginning to end, including Matt LePay, always scheduled on a Monday. We'll talk sports too. It's the Mike Heller Show Monday from Blackhawk Country Club in Madison, noon to 3 on the Game.
Right now is the best time ever to buy a vehicle, and the Russ Darrow Group is leading the way with the lowest cost of vehicle ownership in history. Driving your dream car has never been more affordable. And here's the best part. They've got tons of pre-tariff vehicles in stock. That means you save big before incoming price hikes hit the market. Whether you're after performance, reliability, or something perfect for the family, they've got you covered at Russ Darrow with top brands like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Mitsubishi, Honda, Mazda, Toyota, and Kia, plus a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles from every brand you love. Don't wait for prices to rise. Get the best value and selection before they're gone. Drive today, save tomorrow. Visit russdarrow.com.
wide in Vroom. Celebrate freedom with horsepower at American Place Casino, located in Waukegan, Illinois. Don't miss your chance to win a 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse Premium. Free bonus entries daily, June 20th through July 5th. New members, listen up. Join AP Rewards and grab 25 bonus entries daily during the promotion period. And don't miss the grand finale, drawing for the Mustang on Saturday, July 5th. Visit AmericanPlace.com to learn more. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Your escape, your backyard retreat, your deck. Build it better with Trex from Blifford Lumber. The original composite decking. Trex is famously durable. Comes in a variety of colors and needs no staining, painting, or sealing. And with Blifford Lumber's decking experts, your Trex deck will be the life of your backyard. Build it better. Build it local with Trex decking from Blifford Lumber. For a Blifford Lumber nearest you in Milwaukee or in the surrounding areas, visit BliffordLumber.com.
97.3 The Game's Drew Wilson here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. Pep's Draft House and the Drew and KB Show is celebrating the summer of pizza. That means bigger toppings for your oven and the quality Wisconsin demands. With 15 different varieties, it's easy to find a Pep's that pairs with your favorite brew. My personal favorite is the double pepperoni Doppelbock with a double layer of sliced and diced pepperoni from edge to edge. I love to pour an IPA to go alongside it. My goodness, that hits the spot. Find Pep's Draft House in your grocer's freezer pizza section.
It's 9 days of live music featuring over 600 artists and Drew and KB.
I love those guys.
Get the latest lineups, food and beverage experiences, and more at summerfest.com.
At Charisma Customs, we don't just upgrade vehicles, we transform them. Whether you're looking for ceramic coating that makes your vehicle look amazing, or window tinting to block heat and give you privacy, or paint protection film to protect your vehicle from rocks and other debris the road throws at you. No matter what, Charisma has you protected. Call us today at 262-444-2525 or visit us online to see all our services at charismacustoms.com.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Another hot day today with ample sunshine. We continue with our excessive heat warning and our heat advisories throughout the area. High near 96, breezy southwest wind getting a little gusty at times. Low 70s tonight, 80 tomorrow as we finally get a break. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. There's more to Taco Bell's Luxe Cravings boxes than you'd expect. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, then you're spot on. Choose yours today, only at Taco Bell. For a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Is this thing on?
30 seconds. Okay, let's get this show rolling.
Drew and KB.
Who are you guys?
Weekdays after 3. If you know, you know.
Soldier Boy tough. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy. You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right.
Probably not doing any Soulja Boy dancing will, that's me. Any Oklahoma City Thunder fans today. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of dancing going on in Indiana.
Well, not Indiana.
Sorry, I said Thunder fans.
Yeah.
Pacer fans not going to be celebrating today. Thunder fans might be trying to do some Soulja Boy dancing. Now, I would also think that maybe they're hurting a little bit this morning.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a little bit.
Well, they hadn't even gone to sleep yet.
You know?
And you're just enjoying running it all night long, celebrating your first ever NBA championship.
All night in Oklahoma City, man. That party was going on all night, I'm sure. You know, it probably was getting wild over there. Probably one of the big.
These are the same cracks that
garden
people were
parties.
making on Milwaukee in 2021.
Until they saw the people outside the stadium. I didn't see anybody outside the stadium. I saw Deer District on TV. I didn't see Oklahoma City District. I mean, maybe they did have it.
I saw a couple people heading out to like that intersection right outside the arena, but it wasn't like jam packed like the Deer District was. But half price apps at the Applebee's down
Let's
there.
go,
not have a big old
rocking.
plaza that's just laying there vacant that you could just put, I don't know, big screen and 50,000 people.
Maybe that's what makes us.
Maybe their growing metropolis of OKC is just littered with spots, and there's businesses there that you can.
Maybe that's what makes us
coffee shop.
I did see you trying to throw shade at the parade route that was already posted. What did you think last night when the video came out that they already were painting the buses and getting them all ready for tomorrow's victory parade?
Yeah, they have to have it tomorrow because Wednesday's the draft, and they have to have it before the draft.
Gotta have it wrapped up.
That's what Oklahoma City was saying on their city website.
Yeah.
People were upset that it wasn't a weekend parade, which I think is kind of a bummer. I remember ours wasn't. I was like, it would be kind of nice because people will judge your city on the parade size and how many people come. And it might be tougher on a Tuesday. People are already upset, but that's the rule. You have to have it before the draft, I believe, right? So, yeah.
Well, and I think it'll be okay. I think they're going to get out. I think people will get out of school. I think it'll be very, very well attended.
This has got to be a holiday in Oklahoma City. You don't get many chances at this. However, there are certain jobs in that region of the country that you just can't take off from. The farmers, the cattle ranchers. You just, you can't just leave the farm, right? Am I wrong? Farmers out there.
I get it, but again, we have a lot of farms here in Wisconsin. Like that's again the problem that I don't think you're sitting with.
I'm not
here.
making fun of in this case, farmers. I was saying that's true about you can't just leave and stuff. I know. Okay.
Have you ever heard of this statement of
leave on
the
a Friday
pot
or
calling
Saturday
the kettle black?
Oh, well, I have heard the pot call the kettle black. Do you think
This is you trying to dunk on OKC while living in Milwaukee?
Well, no, because we're more than that. Just that in our.
I'm sure Oklahoma City is too, though.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see that. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm wrong. Now I got another question.
How about this? Instead of you disrespecting it, let's get down to what we wanted to do. You feel disrespected the Milwaukee Bucks are 25-1 to win the Eastern Conference next year at the Potawatomi Sports.
I was shocked and chagrined when I saw these numbers of the futures that came out, and we're down there with with New Orleans. We're below. I'm talking about overall. We're below Philadelphia. Am I missing something here? I understand.
They do have a former MVP on their team. His name's Joel Embiid.
Yeah, right. Joel Embiid. We're talking about the same Joel Embiid that doesn't go deep in the playoffs, that can't stay healthy. Listen, here's the thing. I understand the Bucks have big question marks roster-wise next year. I understand we're not going to have Dame for an amount of time. But plus 8,000 for the NBA championship future, this East, Billy, is wide open, it seems like. I think we're a little disrespected.
I think the East is much more interesting because I'm looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder. No one's beating them. Somebody coming out of the Eastern Conference, I don't believe is beating the Oklahoma City Thunder a year ago.
Yeah.
However, the Bucks are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in terms of odds to win the Eastern Conference. You mentioned it behind the 76ers, who are 14-1 with the Indiana Pacers after losing Tyrese Halliburton last night, presumably for almost all of the season next year.
Right.
Bucks at 25-1. Now, there's some people that believe they're a little optimistic on when Damian Lillard could return, when they could be, who they could be adding as their mid-level taxpayer exemption. That sounds like a banger of a player.
It sounds like it. It's a Bucks thing. Let's get somebody.
25-1 seems probably right. However,
come on.
I think put your money where your mouth is then and go and see if they're gonna go and win this bad boy.
Gonna bet the future for the Bucks both ways, East and the NBA. I'm also gonna bet the Celtics at plus 500. Are you kidding me? 4th in the East? No, I'm gonna bet that.
There he is, Armin Sarian, Boston Celtics fan, his favorite city in the whole wide world. Interesting enough. Interesting enough. I'm glad that you stayed committed to the brand, though. We're going to hand it off to one of the biggest brands in Wisconsin sports broadcasting for a number of years. His name is Mike Heller. The Mike Heller Show is coming up right after this alongside Nick Bruzewitz. Thanks to Tim Allen for hanging out with us today. Dave Gasper, elite work today.
Thank you, brother.
Great job. But buckle up. You're busy this week. Big week this week. So Dave's going to be out at the ballpark helping out with the baseball postgame show tonight. Armin Sarian and I will be back with Mike Heller right after this. It's been no BS. On the game.
Miss a second of today's show?
Yes.
Well, good news. Right after the show, the podcast will be up.
Nice.
Just search 97.3 The Game.